Nameless සුව සන්ධ්‍යාවක්. අංජු Nameless මගේ මේ channel එක ඉස්සරහා page එකේ පෙන්නන්න නැහැ live එක. ඉස්සරහා page එකේ පෙන්නන්න නැහැ live එක. ඉස්සරහා page අංජු anyway මේ Nameless ඔයාලා පූසගේ මේක ගහනවද? ඊයේ ඔයා හිටියේ නෑ අන්තිම ටිකේ නේ? මං අර බිග්ස් එක ගැහුවා පූසගේ event එක. අම්බර්සරි අංජු යුනයිටඩ් දෙන්නම ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. නේම්ලස් ඔයා ගහනවා නම් එන්න. සිග්නල් නෑනේ. නයිට් ඕගොල්ලොන්ට මේ A level වලට නිවාඩු නැද්ද? අපෝ පටන් ගත්ත ගමන් පාත් එක්ක හම්බුනේ මේ පාත් එක මාර අමාරුයි. ඔව් බිග්සි එන්න ගහමු. වා එනකන් හිටියේ. මේ බලන්නකො පටන් ගත්ත ගමන් ගහනවා පාත් එක. ඒ බලන්නකෝ ඔදකින් ඔන්න next round ඕ මේක තනිකරම මේ ලක් එක තමයි ඉතින් හොඳ කාඩ්ස් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. යා හොඳයි. අපේ මේකේ ආයි සල්ලි හිඟ වෙලා හලෝ මොකක්ද අපේ ගිල්ඩ් එකේ යද්දි රතු පාටයි. අපේ බලන්නකො දෙවෙනි එක චීනෙක්. මේ චීනුත් පට්ට විදිහට මින් මැක්ස් කරගෙන එන්නේ. up කරමු. පල්ලෙහාට දාන්න. පස්සේ යාවයි මෙහෙට දාලා නැත්නම් අරු බෙක්සියාව වෙන්න EMA enablers මම බෙක්සි එක පෑ දෙකක් විතර ගැහුවා මේක. එයා ඌ අර උගේ යාළුවෙක් එක්ක ආවේ. අම්මට ඉතින් අර උගේ කාඩ්ස් ටික බලන්න චීනාගේ. උකෙලිම එන 300 IQ build එකක්. ඒවට ගහන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා බලන්නකො කොහොමද අරෝගේ බිල්ඩ් එක. ස්ටේජ් 4ක් තියෙනවා. එක්සි. නිකන් අර PVP එකේ ගුටි කකා ඉන්න නැතෝ එන්න අපි මේක ගහමු. මේකේ ස්කිල් එකට වඩා ලක් එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. හොඳ කාඩ්ස් ඩ්‍රොප් වුණ නැත්නම් එහෙම ඉතින් කන්න වෙනවා. මේකයි ලොක් කරමු. ඊට පස්සේ අද හම්බෙන එක්ක පාත්තයෝ නැත්තං අර DPS ගහනයුම් හම්බෙන දවස නමගුලත් ලෙජනරි එතන වැඩේ ගැන එක දාන්න තැනක් නෑ අපේ පාත් එක් දැන් කන්න වෙනවා බැයි ක්‍රිට් එකක් වැදුනා මං එන්න පූසාගෙන් ඒ ක්‍රිට් එකාව නැත්තන් එහෙම පූසා බඩු ඒක කෙලිම ලකි RNG එකක් වැදලා තින් දැන් ප්‍රශ්නේ තමා කොහොමද මම දාන්නේ the multiplier of the martial arts. තියනවලු. අපෝ මුගේ අර මේන් මේ ස්කිල් මේක ඇත්තරම වැඩක් නෑ. ඒක දැම්ම කියලා කවදාවත් මට ඒකෙන් ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් එකක් ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. මුගේ හොඳ ඇත්තටම පොඩි අර ඩැමේජ් බෆ්ස් ගන්න එක හොඳයි අර ලොකු එක ගන්නවට වඩා. කෝ ඉන්වයිට් එකක් එවන්න. දසුනවා පූසක එක ගහන්න නැද්ද? පූසක ඉවෙන්ට් එක. කෝ බිග්සි එවන්න ඉන්වයිට් එකක්. ඒක තේරෙන්නේ මං මේ ඊයේ ඉඳන් ගොයි බිග්සියක් ගහනවා. ඊයේ අපිට හොඳ හැබැයි මැචස් ටිකක් හම්බුණා. Never මාත් පාත් එක්ගෙන් රේට් එක වටිනවා. ලෙකිරි අරුන්ගේ පාත් අම්මසිරි මට ඇහුවද අවුලක්න මට ගැහුවන තරුගේ අර උගේ හීල විතර ඉතුරු මේකේ ස්කිල් කියලා එකක් නෑ මේක හම්බෙන කාඩ්ස් අනුව තමා අම්මට මුගයාකෝ හීල ගහනවනේ පුළු ටීම් එකටම ඒමට සීන්ඩ ඇද මේ අවුලන අපේ එකත් ගනවා හීලවස සීල ඔක පටන් ගත්තකම අමාරුව ගහන්න මේක හම්බෙන් ඩ්‍රොප්පෙන කාඩ්ස අනුව තමා දසුන් හොඳ කාස් ඩ්‍රොප්පුන් නැත්තක් හෙම බඩු බනිස් අපේ මේ මයි බික්සි බික්සිගේ යාලුවක් එක්ක ගහන්න දැන් වත් තනි මැචස් එක තුනක් ගහන්න මේ ගේම එක එකයන්න වාට එතකට තේරෙයි මොකක්ද කරන්න ඕට කියලා මොද කාඩ්සල ෆ්ලෝ එකක් එහෙම තියෙන අර මගේ තියෙනවනේ 1 2 3 කියලා හරියට මින් මැක්ස් කරනවා නම් එහෙම ඒ කාඩ්සල තියෙනවා ෆ්ලෝ අර මේකක් එක එකන එක ඩෑම් එක ඇටෑක් එකක් ඉස්සලාම් කරලා ඊට පස්ස දෙවනි ඇටෑක් එක කරන එක හරියටවා මේ ප්ලෑන් කරොත් එහෙම ඩැමේජ් එක වැඩි මගේ නම් එහෙම ප්ලෑන් මොකුත් නෑ මම නම් කිරීම කනා ෂොට් එක තමා ගෙලින්ම G damage reduction rate එක වටිනවා ඇත්තටම normal damage reduction rate එකත් ගන්න I have a lantern. අරු කොහොමත් හීලනේ උට හීලින් අර මේක හොඳයි. මොකද්ද? මේක ඒකයි මේ දස්සෝ අනිත් එක තමයි මේකේ කාඩ්ස් අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් බලන්න මට අප්ග්‍රේඩ්ස් එහෙම මොකුත් හම්බුන්නේ නැහැ. තාම නිල් පාට කාඩ්ස් ඔක්කොම තියෙන්නේ. කාඩ්ස් අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරන්න ඒ කාඩ් එකේ තියෙන එෆෙක්ට් එක වැඩි. ස්ක්‍රීන් එක දකුණු පැත්තේ උඩ වෙන ස්ලොට් ටික ඇරුණාම ඊට යටින් තියෙනවා ඩැමේජ් ඩීටේල්ස් බලන එක. ඒක ඔබලා තියාගන්න. දකුණු පැත්තේ උඩ ඩැමේජ් ඩීටේල්ස්. ඔව් මේකද? ටෝටල් ඩැමේජ් එකද? හරි අපේ ටීම් එකේ ඩැමේජ් නේ. ඊළඟට මෙන්න අප්ග්‍රේඩ් එකක් හම්බුණා. මේ බලන්න each attack increases එකත් නරක නෑ හැබැයි. ඒනවා අප් කරන්න දැන් ඊළඟට රෝල් කර යන්න ඕනේ. පුළුවන් නම් ඒ කියන්නේ තියෙන කාඩ්ස් ටික අප් කරන්න. වැඩක් නෑ ඇත්තටම. මේ තියෙන්නේ මුගේක. වැඩේ කියන්නේ උගේක දාන්න තැනක් නෑ මට. අන්ත දැම් each attacking 30 taking an attack reduces. ඇයි අප්පා මගේ පාත්තය ඇටැක් කරන්න නැත්තේ? ඌ පාත්තය එකපාරම 0 ඩැමේජ් ලා එකපාරම දැක්කද? අම්මට බලන්න 15000 ඩැමේජ් එක කොහොමද? වැඩේ කියන්නේ ඌ අර උගේ මේවට ස්කිල්ස් ටික හරි රීන ගහලා ආයි මේක ගහනවා නම් කියන්න. මේ මම මේක ගගහ ඉන්න කොහොමත් සිංගල් ප්ලේයර් එක. damage boost damage reduction. නේම්ලස් ගහන්න පුළුවන් නම් එන්න මේ මොකද දසුන් ගේම් එක මේ මෝඩ් එක හරියට දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා කිව්ව හින්දා මං කිව්වා අනියෙන් එකක් දෙකක් ගහන්න කියලා මේ මේවා ටික පුරුදු වෙනකම් ගේම් මෙකැනික්ස් ටික පුරුදු වෙනකම් ඊළඟට මේක අප් කරා නම් එහෙම මුගේ ඇටැක් එක තවත් වැඩි වෙන්න ඕනේ පොතේ හැටියට. නේම්ලස් ස්ට්‍රීම් එක බලන්නත් අමාරුයි කියලා කිව්වේ ඉන්ටර්නෙට් කේස් හින්දා. පාත එක්සෝස්ට් මැට් එක පටන් ගත්ත ගමන් ඌ එක්සෝස්ට් මොන මගුලක්ද? හැබැයි මේකේ හිටපේ වුණොත් ඇවිල්ලා මින්ඩක්ස් කරපියුම් සෙට් එකක් හිටියේ. ආපෝ පාත්තයන පට්ට චොරහලෝ මේ මොන මගුලක්ද මේ වන්න කියන්න හලෝ ඩැමේජ් බින්දුවයි ඒ මොන මගුලක්ද වේ ඕපඩකොට අමතක ලතා පොඩ්ඩෙන් කියන මගුල් ටික අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරන්න ආල්ල කිරි ඊළඟ එක කෑව නැත්තන් එහෙම ඕල් අප්ග්‍රේඩ්ස් ටිකක් තියෙනවා මට පාත්තක ඇටැක එකක් තියෙනවා ඒක ලෝඩ් වෙන්නේ ගේම් ඒකැන අපි කොහොමත් දිනන බැචස්වල විතර එක ලෝඩ් වෙන්නේ උගේ පූල් ඩවුන් තියෙන්න්න ඕනේ උගේ ඇටැක්සික මෙවා කරන්න ස්කාගෙහෙම නෙවෙන ස්කාගේ ඇටැක් පට්ටගාල කූල්ලනවාන්නේ උගේ කූල් ඩවන් හැද වෙනත් අන්හෙම මාරාමාර අප කරමු damage 8 times කරන්න මූ පණ පිටින් ඉන්න එපයි අට වතාවක් අම්මා වද්දාලෝ මේ ටීම් එක කනවගේ බික්සි වාර මේ PVP ගහද්දි වාට ගහන්නේ අන්න ඒ වගේ ගැහුවනේ නේම්ලස්වා ඉන්ටනෙට් එක හදාගෙන එන්නකෝ මේක ගහන්න අවුල නැම තනියෙන් සෙල්ලං කරන්න මේ පාත්තක් නිකන් ටෙස්ට් කරන්න මේවා ටිකක් උගේ ජින්ජිබෙරිස් එකක් 1v1 run නැත්තම් පූසම ගැහුවා නම් හරි හලෝ පාත්තය ගහන්න නැතුව බලුවේ වැඩේ කියන්නේ ස්කාගේ අල්තිය චොර sweeps in combo dealing 5 hits of damage when this martial arts is affected by chi flow its damage multiply increase by 2 මේක හොඳයි හැබැයි උගේ each time damages this unit's damage is increased ආපෝ පටන් ගත්ත ගම පාත්තෙක් ඒ බලන්නකො අවාසනාවක මහත අරෝග හැබැයි චී අරමේ වන චී මේ ශීල් දෙකක් නෑ එකහින් ඒකෙන් දවට කියල වුණා එක රෙකමෙන්ඩඩ් බිල්ඩ එක ට්‍රයි කරලා බලන්නම් මං හරි අයිද කියලා ටීම් එකක් එවලා තියෙනවා කවුද දන්නේ මේ ආපෝ මේ ප්‍රිසනමෝ මගුලක්නේ මං හිතුවේ පූසාගේ මේක කරන්න කියලා බලන්නකෝ කර හිටපු එකත් මෙයා වුණා continue කරන්න පුළුවන් එකේ මට කලින් අරගේ චී ට්‍රේන් වුණ හින්දා හරි නැත්නම් එහෙම එතන චුට්ටක් දෝජි මං මේකේ ඕ හරි මේකේ පෙන්නනවා මේක මේක දාන්න අපට සිරි පාත්තෙක් ගව හැබැයි උගේ අර අල්ටි බල්ටි තියෙන එක තාම නෑ Misty Fortune මට මේක අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරන්න අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරන්න යාව ගන්න බෑ තාම ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොම දාමු හරි ඉන්න ඕන තැන පස්සේ එල්ලක තියෙනවා ඉන්න මෙතන අපසේ අරුණික 400 IQ බිල්ඩ එකක් දාගෙන ඉන්න බලන්නකෝ 400 IQ බිල්ඩ එක හැබැයි පට්ට ෆේලිය තාම බලමුකෝ ගායිද කියලා මොකද මංගාව මේ උගාව හීල් කාඩ් එකක් තියෙනවා මංගාව හීල් එහෙම නැහැ ඕකේ 400 IQ අන්න දැක් අන්න ඒක තමයි සීන් එක කාඩ් පුරව ගත්තට වැඩක් නැහැ කාඩ්ස් වල සිනර්ජි නැත්තම් එහෙම ආත්තත් මං හිතන්නේ උගේ හරි බිල්ඩ් එක හදන් ඉන්න එකෙක්. මේක නම් මං කන සීන් එකක් තියෙන්නේ. හරුගේ මං හිතන්නේ උගේ මැනා බැස්සා. ඒක නම් වෙලාව. मारू अब कराना मादी ने क्या आप कराना එකක් මිසිං ආව දෙන්න ඉන්න අර කාඩ් එක තාමත් ඩ්‍රොප් වුණේ නැහැ. මට ෂුව නව් ශීල්ඩයක් එහෙම මොකද මේක චීඩමේජ් තමා මෙයින් ස්ට්‍රෝන් පොයින්ට් එක ඕන මැටැක් එකට චීඩමේජ් නැත්තන් එහෙම මාරාමාරු වික්සි ඉන්නවා දන්න chat එකේ වික්සි ඊළඟ පාර අපිට ගහන්න පුළුවන්. මම දැන් තේරුණා මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. මේකේ අර බිල්ඩ් ඒගොල්ලෝ රෙකමෙන්ඩ් කරන බිල්ඩ් එක ෆලෝ කරා නම් එහෙම ඇත්තටම ගහන්න ලේසි. බිල්ඩ් එක ෆලෝ කරපියොන් දෙන්නේ කිද්දි ඉතින් RNG තමයි. RNG කියලා වුණොත් එහෙම sorry.com ආයි මට දැන් මම දන්නවා මේක කරන්න ඕනේ මොකද්ද කියලා. බලන්නකෝ එකක්වත් අර හැබැයි මෙහෙමයි පොඩි මේකක් තියෙනවා ඩ්‍රොප්ස් උත් බිල්ඩ් එකට හරියන්න ඩ්‍රොප්ස් උත් එන්න ඕනේ. වෙනත් කරන්න ඕනේ මොකද්ද කියලා මට දැන් ක්ලික් වුණා. බලන්නකො මේකේ පටන් ගත්ත ගාම පට්ට චොරක අත්සම්මුනේ. ඒක හින්දා ඩෝජි මේ පාර නම් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙයිද දන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද පරිසර බලන්න පටන් ගත්ත ගාම වගේ මෑනා බැහැගෙන යන සීන් එකක් තියෙනවා. මං කිව්වේ මේකේ එන ඩෝජි කාඩ්ස් ටිකක් හම්බුනේ. අරු ශීල්ඩ් දාලා හබ්රෝගේ හැබැයි පරිසර මගේ මෑනත් බැස්ස දැක්කා. ඊට පස්සේ ඩැමේජ් ඕවර් ටයිම් එකකුයි කොහොම දින්නද දන්න එක ඒකන පට්ට RNG කියලා මට හරියන කාඩ් එකක් හම්බ කිරි හාව දෙන්නගේ එකත් හම්බුන මේ පාර ගණ්ඩුවෙන් හැබ ඊළඟ මැච්ච එකේද මේක මට දැන් බිල්ස් ටික කටපාඩම් වුණාට පස්සේ යන්න පුළුවන් අනිත් පැත්තේ ස්කාව සෙල්ලම් කරද්දී උන් ස්කාගේ හරි බිල්ඩ් එකද හදලා තියෙන්නේ නැද්ද කියලා මං කිව්වේ මේකේ කාඩ්ස් ඇත්තට මං අර කලින් කියපු එක වැරදි ඊයේද කොහෙද වැරයිටි වලට වඩා කාඩ් සිනර්ජි කාඩ්ස් එකිනෙක අතර හොඳ සිනර්ජි තියෙනවා නම් එහෙම ඩැමේජ් එක මාර වැඩි රෝස්කා අවුත් බිල්ඩ එක මං හිතන හදාගෙන යන්න හැබැයි බිල්ඩ් එකට අදාළ නැති අයිටම්ස් ටිකක් තියෙනවා ඔගේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එකේ බලමුකෝ අදත් පූසෝ මොකද මේකේ අද තමා මට ක්ලික් වුණේ ගේම් මේ මැච් එක ගහන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා ප්ලේ ස්ටයිල් එක ක්ලික් වුණේ අද මං කලින් මේ බිග්ස් එක සෙල්ලම් කරා දැම්මට හරියට මගේ මේක හදන්න දාලා මෙතන මෙතන ආමු මෙතන අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරමු කවුද සේටන් ඔයාගේ මොනසේ ඔයාගෙන බයිබල් එකේ ඉන්න එක මොනස් ආවා කියන සේටන් ඉස්ලා ඔව් උන්ට පිස්සු හරිද සාතන්ගේ කෙලිම ගෝල් එකම හැම එකම අපායට යවන එක උන්ට මොංගල් හිතන් ඉන්නේ ඌවිල නිකං අර මේ ටීවිෂෝ එකක් හෙම තින ලුසිි කළ උන් හිතන් ඉන්නේ සේට් ගැන එහෙම එකෙක් කියලා මොකැන ඔයි සේටනික් ටෙම්පල් එක එහෙමද ඔව්වෝ ඒක තියෙන අර මෙහෙ මේ මොකක්ද ඔය හරි ඔය මේ ලිප්ටෝයිඩ්ස්ලාගේ ප්‍රාන්තක උන් අර උන්ගේ ප්‍රාන්තේ එකන කච්චේරිය වගේ තින් ලංකා කච්චරි කියලක නන්න ඒ වගේ උන් පිළිමයක් එහමත්දාගෙන විකාරණට නට හිටිය ඇත්තති ඒන්නේ ඇත්තන උන් ආත්මික ලෝ ඉතිං මේ හොලිවුඩ් කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකන හොලිවුඩ් වලට ගියාම ඒකන හොලිවුඩ් වල ඉන්න ඒලිස්ට් ඇක්ටර්ස්ලා ගොඩක් උන් සියදිවි හානි කරගන්නේ වයසට ගියාම ඒ කියන්නේ උන් අර කරපු දේවල් වල පළ විපාක උන්ට තේරෙන්නේ එන්නේ අම්මඩ සිරිමු ගහනේ වදිනවා ආව් අර හරි බිල්ඩ් එක හදපු එකෙක් දැක්කා මගේ කාට ක්‍රිට්ස් දෙකක් වැදුනානේ ඒක නං අවාසනාව ඒක මට නැවිකුණන්න ජීසස්ගේ පිල්ලිම පිළිම් හදන එක කෙසේ වෙතත් පිළිම අයින් ජේසුතුමාගේ පිළිම අයින් කරලා සාතන්ගේ පිළිම දාලා හෙන විකාරුන්ට පිස්සු ඇත්තරම ඔය බෝෂණ එහෙම උන්නේ තිරේ පිටි පස දගෙන පුෂ් කරේ අනිකරම ලෑන් පේරන්ටු ඩරකයිම එකයි කියල දැන් එහෙම ප්‍රාන්ත මංහිතන 3කද 4කද කොහෙද ඉපදුනාට පස්සේ මරලා ළමයාව එකන්න කෙලින්ම මර්ඩ අරවත් කරන්න බලමු ගෑනුසීන් එක තම මම කිව්වේ නැද්ද මගේ කැම්පේන් එක ජර්මන් කැම්පේන් එක ස්ත්‍රීමුත් කරවා හිටියද දන්න යකෝ බලාගෙන ඇද්ද එක ඕගේ දෙවන ලෝකයුද්ධ කරලා තියෙන ගෑනු මොකද රෙලික් කියන එකෙන්නේ ඕක හදන්නේ ඔය රෙලික් එක තනිකරම රන් කරන්න ගෑනු ගෑනුන්ට ගේමින් කම්පනීස්වල උඩ එකන උඩපුට් තනතුරු දුන්න හම ඔන්නෝක තමා වෙන්නේ ඒක අප්ඩේට් කරා ඒක අප්ඩේට් කරන්න මේක අප්ඩේට් කරන්න මද ෆැන්ටම් ප්ලේට් 0 එක දෙනුවෝ තියෙනවා අරක ආරක ගහන්න මේ මොකක්දර නින්ද යන ගේම ගැශේෂමර මම ගෝස්ට of reincarnation හිතන්න ගෝස්ට of reincarnation එක නව අරුහෙන නිකං කොහෙටවත් නැති බිල්ඩ එකක් හදාගෙන මං හිතුවේ ගහයි කියලා. ගහපු මුල ටිකේ ගහපු ගහිල්ලට මං හිතුවේ. අපි ඔයාව අප් කරමු. ඔයාව අප් කරමු. එයාව අප් කරන්න. ඔයාව ගන්න මදි. අපරාධ ඒක තමයි ඒක තමයි. all company of heroes 3 එකේ ඒ කියන්නේ ගන්නවා නම් හැමිතින් මේක ගහන්න ඕනේ. මොකද්ද මල්ටිප්ලේයර් ගහනවා නම් හරි නැත්තම් එහෙම ඇත්තට මේකේ කැම්පේන් එක එහෙම කරන මල්ටිප්ලේයර් එකත් ඇත්තට මේ company of heroes 2 තරම් හොඳ නෑ. මං company of heroes 2 මං හිතන්නේ පැය 2500ක් විතර ගහලා තියෙනවා. එකත් එක ළඟින්වත් තියන්න බැත්තරම 3 එකේ ඇනිමේෂන් සුච්චෝරනේ. යුද්ධ ටැංකිය වල ට්‍රැක් එහෙම කැරකෙන ඒ කියන්නේ ට්‍රැක් එක කැරකෙන ස්පීඩ් එකට නෙමෙයි යුද්ධ ටැංකිය ඉස්සරහට යන්නේ. ඇත්තට මේක මාර මේ ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක දකිද්දි එන චොර නෙගටව දාලා නෙගට බොකද කෝල් of Company of Heroes 2 එක Company of Heroes 1 එකට වඩා චොර හරිද Company of Heroes 1 එක තමා එකන්නේ අතරම කැම්පේන් එක හෙමත් හොඳර කරේ 2 එක 1 එකට වඩා හො චොර ඊට පස්සේ 2 එකට පස්සේ දැන් 3 එක 2 එකට වඩා චොර හරිද ලෝකයි ප්‍රශ්නේ අවුට්ඩේටඩ් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක රීමාස්ටර් කරනවා කියලා තියෙනවා. වෙනත් රීමාස්ටර් කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ. හලෝ රීමාස්ටර් කියලා කියන්නේ උන් අර AI මේ අප්ස්කේල් එකකට ටෙක්ස්චර් පැක් එක දාලා AI එකෙන් අප්ස්කේල් කරාම තිබ්බටත් වඩා කැතයි. රීමේක් කරන්න ඕනේ. ආයි මුලින් ඉඳන් හදන්න ඕනේ. අර මුන් මේ කවුද ප්‍රෙසිඩන්ට් ඊවිල් යොම් කරේ. අන්න ඒ වගේ කරන්න ඕනේ නැත්තම් එහෙම වැඩක් නෑ. මෙහෙමයි මුකුත්ම වෙනස් කරන්න නැතුව රීමේක් කරොත් එහෙම කේස් එකක් නෑ. දැන් අර Assassin's Creed එකෙත් උන් අර පොඩි හැබැයි උනුත් ඒකෙත් පොඩි ග්ලෝබල් හෝමෝ වෙනස්කම් ටිකක් කරා. මම දන්න විදිහට Assassin's Creed අර Black Flag එකේ උන් කතාවේ ලොකු වෙනසක් කරේ නෑ. මම දන්න විදිහට. අප්පන්සිරි මේ බලන්න. මුල ටිකේ හොඳ කාස් ඩ්‍රොප් වුනේ නැතිනම් ඔන්න ඕක තමයි කේස් එක කන්න වෙනවා. මට මොකද මට ඇටැක් කාඩ්ස් මොකුත් එක කාඩ් එකයි තියෙන ඇටැක් එකට ඔයා මේ ආවා PlayStation 4 එකක් ගත්ත කියලා කිව්වනේ. PlayStation 4 එකයි PlayStation 4 එකට PlayStation 5 වා කියන්නේ මේ cross මගේ PlayStation 4 controller එක ආම්මාට PlayStation 4 controller එක කැඩුණා බිම වැටලා. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හැබැයි PlayStation controllers එහෙම මේ බිම වැටලා ඉස්සර එහෙම කැඩෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ බලන්නකෝ එක දිගට පරදිනවා මොකද අර හම්බෙන cards චෝරනේ මට. දැන් ඊළඟට හොඳ cards හම්බුනේ නැත්නම් එහෙම මම මේක පරදිනවා. මේකේ මුන් ගේම් එක බැලන්ස් කරන්නේ අන්න ඒකෙන්. random drops වලින් nerf වෙනවා. ඒක වෙන්න පුළුවන් මොකද මේ PlayStation Xbox controllers එහෙම මාර විදියට ෆේක් ඒවා හදනවා. මේ Facebook marketplace එකෙන් එහෙම සාමාන්‍ය controllers ගත්තොත් එහෙම අනිවාර්යෙන් scam වෙනවා. මොකද controllers එහෙම fake ඒවා හදන්නත් හරි ලේසිනේ. හරි තන කරන්න මන් දැනට third party controllers හදන කට්ටියකින් Logitech එක ඇත්තටම හොඳයි. අපේ ඉතින් ඉස්සරින් ඉඳන්ම Logitech කට්ටියනේ මම හිතන්නේ මම 2011 වගේ ඉඳන් Logitech පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ උන්ගේ mouse වල ඔය මේ controllers තමයි පාවිච්චි කරලා ඇත්තටම. හැබැයි Logitech මේව හැදුවා ඉස්සර අර flight simulator Microsoft flight simulator එකට ඕන කරන අර gear අනම්මනම් ඉස්සර හැදුවා Logitech එකෙන් ඒව හැම මාර ප්‍රසිද්ධයි. ආපෝ කරදුනානේ. ඒක නම් කාඩ්ස් වල පට්ට චොර කාඩ්ස් හම්බුන හින්දා බලමු. අර අනේ මොකද පින්ස් හම්බුන හින්දා රෑන්ක් එක උඩට ගියා. මම දන්නේ විතර මේකේ රෑන්ක් එක අඩු වෙනවද කියලා නම් මට ෂුවර් නෑ. මේක ලොක් කරලා මේක අප් කරමු. කාඩ් දෙකයි තියෙන්නේ බලමුකෝ. මේ වෙද්දි අම්මෝ අහන්න එපා මං හිතන්නේ. මං හිතන්නේ මොකද මගේ අර මේ ස්කීම් ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එකේ තිබ්බා නම් මනම් විකුණලා මං ගාව තිබ්බා හෙන ගොඩක් මේ මේකේ බැලන්ස් එක. මං හිතන්නේ 1500 2000ක් විතර. ඉල්ල කිරි හොඳ කාඩ්ඩයක් සේවා මෙතන්ට යන්න අපි ඔයාවදාම මෙතන්ට දාලා හරියන්න හැබැයි මොනවා ගන්නද ඒවා කෑන මේ කොස්මටික්ස් ඒක සමහර කොස්මටික්ස් ලිමිටඩ් ටයිම් සමහරය ගන්න බෑ එනත් මේක ඉතින් ඕන්නන් account එක විකුණන්න පුළුවන් මොකද මංගා මේකේ මේ මං account එක ඉස්සලාම හැදුවේ dedicated උන්ගේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකේ එකින්දා ගේම් එක ටර්බෝ ෆ්ලොප් වුණේ නැත්තම් එහෙම නුදුරනාගතේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ වගේ ගේම්ස් වලට තියෙන ලොකුම වාසිය තමා අර සෙකන්ඩ් හෑන්ඩ් මාකට් එකේ හොඳ ඉල්ලුමත් තියෙනවා බලන චීන්නු මින්මැක්ස් කරලා ගහනවා ඉතින් දැන් තමා මට ඉඩ තියෙන්නේ මේක හරියට ඕ G2G එක වගේ හැම විකුණන්න පුළුවන් කාට චීනේ සමහර චීන හිරගෙවල් තියෙනවා දැන් ඔය e-crimes තියෙන්නේ online crime එහෙම කරපයෝන් සාමාන්‍ය කම්පියුටර් එහෙම ගැන දන්න එවුනේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔය මේ අන්තර්ජාලය හරහා මේ වංචා කරන්නේ එහෙම එවුන් හිරේ ගියාම චීනේ කරන්නේ මේ ගේම්ස් වල ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනික කරන්සි තියෙන්නේ එව්ව ෆාම් කරන්න දානවලු උදේ ඉඳන් වෙනකන් කෙලින්ම අර වහල් සේවය තමා එවනට උන්ට තියෙන අර ලී ඔය මේ ලීග් නෙමෙයි අපි කිය Fallout 76 එකේ අර ප්‍රීමියම් කරන්සි එක තියෙන්නේ එව්ව හැම ෆාම් කරන්න උදේ ඉඳන් වෙනකන් ඉරගේ ඇතුළේ ඉඳගෙන කියන්න බෑ මොකොද ඔය account එකේ ඒකේ ඔය account එක කරන්නේ ඌ අර කෙල්ලෙක්ගේ නමක් දාගෙන කෙල්ලෙක්ගේ මේ ප්‍රොෆයිල් පික්චර් එක දාගෙන හිටියට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඕක එක් චීන ආණ්ඩුවේ account එකක් එහෙම නැත්තම් නිකන් shop එකක වගේ ඒ කියන්නේ ගොඩක් එවුන් ඕක අනිවාර්යෙන් පාවිච්චි කරන account එකක්. D2D එක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ලිස්ටිංස් නිකන් 1000 2000 එහෙම තියෙන accounts එහෙම සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කෙලින්ම ඒ කියන්නේ අර ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රියල් ග්‍රේඩ් කම්පනීස් වලින් රන් කරන්නේ. කම්පනීස් එහෙම නැත්නම් හිර ගෙදරකින් අනිවාර්යයෙන්. අප්පන්සරි මොගෙන් කුටි කන එක පුදුමයක් නෙවෙයි බලන්න ඕගාව ඔක්කොම හොඳම අයිටම්ස් ටික තියෙන්නේ. ඔන්න ඕකයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. බිල්ඩ් එක ඩ්‍රොප්ස් ටික චොරනන් එහෙම මේකේ හරි අමාරුයි. මේ ගේම් මෝඩ් එකේ නර්ෆ් කරන්නේ මේකෙන්. RNG නේ. ඩ්‍රොප්ස්. හරි. දාලා වාවත් අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරලා ඩ්‍රොප් එකත් හොඳයි. ඔයා මෙතන ඔයා මෙතන ඔයා මෙතන ඔයා මෙතන සේවා විකුණලා මොකද මේක පැරදුනොත් එහෙම මේ රවුන්ඩ් එක මං පැරදි. හොඳ අයිටම්ස් ටික හම්බුනේ ගොඩක් පරක් වෙලා වැඩි මට. අප්පරිස්සමුගේ අයිටම්ස් ගොඩ. බලමුකෝ. අම්මා එල්ල කිරි හොඳ ක්‍රිට් එකක් වැදුනා රුට. මොකද ඩීසන්ට් කාඩ්ස් ටිකක් ඩ්‍රොප් වෙලා අර මොමෙන්ටම් එක හම්බුනාට පස්සේ ගහන්න චුට්ටක් ලේසි. අප් කරන්න පුළුවන්. අප් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. මෙයාව ආයි ගන්න බැරි වුණා. වාවත්. මගේත් මං හිතන අයිටම්ස් දෙකක් ඩ්‍රොප් වුන්නේ නැහැ මේ රවුන්ඩ් එකේදී. බලමු. අනුගා මං හිතන උගේ අල්ටිමේට් කාඩ් එක තියෙනවා. ඒකින්ද ටිකක් ඩොජි. ඒකේ උඩ තියෙන අවාසිය උගේ එක DPS නෙමෙයි හින්දා ඒ ඔක්කොම හොඳම කාඩ්ස් ටික තිබ්බ නැත්නම් එහෙම ගහන්න අමාරුයි. දැක්කද? ඉස්සෙල්ලා මම මේක ගන්න ඕනේ. මොකද ඒක සෑහෙන වටින කාඩ් එකක්. මේක අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරමු. අප්ඩේට් කරමු. මේක තමයි මගේ මිසින් එක. දැන් ඉතින් අප්ග්‍රේඩ්ස් අනෝ තමයි අනිත් එක උගේ ඔක්කොම හොඳම accounts ටිකත් හදාගෙන අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරලා තිබ්බොත් එහෙම මට බඩු බනිස්. රශ්‍යයි චීනයි යන එක ඉස්සරිදාම තිබ්බනේ පුන. මං පොඩි කාලෙත් ඒ කියන්නේ මං කියන්නේ මං කැම්පස් යන කාලේ එහෙමත් ගොඩක් එවුන් මෙඩිසින් MBBS කරන්න චීනට එහෙම ගියා. තොගයක් යන සිරාවට ඒක මම ශීත දැක්ක දර හොඳ ඩොප්ස් එකන මට අදාළ ඩොප්ස් ටික හම්බුනාට පස්සේ හරි ලේසි මගේ කාට දිනන් ඔවු මේක 1v1 එක රෑංකින්ස් යන්න වෙනම මේ බලන්න මංගෝද මඟර 3v3 එක සිල්ව ගියා අරුත් එක්ක සෙල්ලං කළ කවුද බිග්සි එක්ක හැබැයි ඉස්සර ලංකාවේ දැන් මංහෙම ලංකා හිටපු කාලේ මේ ලංකාවේ ගෙන ගත්තයෝක වෙන තරහය රට ගිහිල්ල ඉගෙන ගත්තයෝක එක්ක හැබැයි අත්තරම ලංකාවයවුන්ට වඩා ලංකාව ඉගෙන ගත්තවුණට රට ඉගෙන ගත්තයවුම් හොඳයි මොකද ලංකාවහෙම අපේ ඔවුන් එහෙම මේ තමන්ගේ රටේ හොරබොරු කරන්න පුළුවන් එකන එක්සෑම් එක කොපි කරලා හරි මොනොහරි කරලා වෙන රටකහෙම ඒව කරන්න බෑනේ ඔරසීන් කරලා විවාග පාසෙන්ට බැරිහින්ද ඇත්තරම රට ගීලා ඉගෙන ගත්ත එකාව ශුව ලංකාව ඉගෙන ගත්ත කට වඩා හැබයි ලංකාව හිටපයුන් හෙම මාර් ලංකාව හිටපු දොස්සරල ඉස්සර මාර රිසියයි රට ගිහිල්ලොව මේ රොසියාවේ චීන හෙම ඉගෙනගෙන ආපයෝන් එක්ක ආපෝ මෙන්න මේක පලිනොත් මට වනේ ඔන්නක පලවෙනි එක පරදින අර මේ EPS මේව ටික හම්බෙනක බලන්න ඉඩත් මොකද ඉඩත් නෑනේ වාගේ අර මේවා ටික දාන්න අන්න මේක වටිනවා බලන්නකො දෙකක් එක දිගට පැරදුනා මගේ මේවා ටික චොර හින්දා ආපස්සට එකක්වත් දින්නලා නෑ මං තාම මොකද කාඩ්ස් ටික හරියට ඩ්‍රොප් වෙනකම් මේක දිනන්න මාර අමාරු මේක කරනවට වඩා මේක අප් කරමු ඉස්සෙල්ලා දාලා මේක දින්න නැත්තන් එහෙම මං හිතන්නේ බලමු එතකොට අපිට හොයන්න පුළුවන් රෑන්ක් එක අඩු වෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා ආපෝ පාත් එක්ෂික් රවින් සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක් මොකද වෙන්නේ රවින් ඒ බලන්නකො ඔක්කොම පැරදි මුලදී හම්බුන කාස් ටික චොර හින්දා. බලමු. ඔව් රෑන්ක් එක අඩු වෙනවා තමයි. ඒ පාරත් කෙලවෙන සීන් එකක් තියෙන හොඳ කාස් මොකුත් හම්බුන්නේ නැහැ මට මුලදී. මොකද පළවෙනි මැචස් දෙක පැරදුනොත් එහෙම මේකේ හරි අමාරුයි දිනන්න. ආපෝ පැරදි. මං කිව්වේ පළවෙනි නිවුස් එක ඩැමේජ් මේකක් හම්බ. මොකද පළවෙනි මැච් එක තනිකරම ලක් එකවල තනිකරම ලක් එකෙන් යන්නේ දෙවෙනි එකත් ලක් එකෙන් යන්නේ තුන්වෙනි එකේ ඉඳන් තමයි මේකේ හරිනම් යන්නේ බලන්න අප්පට මේක කන සීන් එකක් තියෙන වගේ එක හරියට හන්ද ක්‍රිට්ස් ටිකක් හම්බුනේ නැත්නම් එහෙම මට බඩු බනිස් ආප්ප ක්‍රිට්ස් නෑ අරුට ක්‍රිට්ස් ටික ඔක්කොම ගියේ අර මට බඩු දැන් ඊළඟ එකෙන් ඔක්කොම අඳින්නන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් මේ එකක්වත් දෙන්නේ නෑ. මං හිතන්නේ ගේම් එකෙන්ම මගේ දැන් ප්‍රොෆයිල් එක නර්ෆ් කරලාද කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ අර එක දිගට දිනලා මේ බලන්නකෝ මෙහෙම පරදින්නේ නැහැ මොකද මන් දැන් මේක කොච්චර ගැහුවද මේකේ මොකද්ද මැච් මේකින් එකෙන්ම නර්ෆ් කරලා තියෙන්නේ එහා පැත්තින් එකාට දෙනවා හොඳ අයිටම්ස් මොකද මගේ අර මේකේ MMR එක හෙන ගොඩක් එකපාරම වැඩි වුණානේ ඔන්ලයින් ඔය මං PvP ගහන්න නැත්තේ ඔන්න ඔය සීන් එකේ හින්දා මොකද ඔයා කොච්චර හොඳ ප්ලේයර් කෙනෙක් වුණත් වැඩක් නැහැ මැච් මේකින් එකෙන් ඔයාට අවාසිදායක විදියට දෙනවා ගේම් එක බැලන්ස් කරන්න දැන් මං දෙකක් එක දිගට පෙරදුන හින්දා බලන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලාම දුන්නා අර හොඳ මේකක් කාඩ් එකක් අර තව දෙක තුනක් පෙරදුනාම මං අර අනිත් ලෙවල් එකට ඩවුන්ග්‍රේඩ් වුණොත් එහෙම බලන්නකො මේකෙන් දෙන්නේ නැද්ද කියලා. අය හොඳ කාඩ්ස්. දැක්කා? තනිකරම මේකේ මැච් මේකින් ඔප්ටිමයිස් කරලා තියෙන කවුරු හරි එකක එක දිගට දින්නොත් එහෙම RNG තියෙද්දි ඔන්න ඕකයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. දැන් මේකේ ඔයාගේ හැකියාව නෙමෙයි වටින්නේ RNG. ලක් එක නැත්තම් එහෙම ඉතින් බඩු. මේක අප් හරි පමණ. දෙකම දාන්න තැනක් නැහැ. මත අප් කරමු. දැන් එහෙම මට මොකද මගේ DPS මේවා හම්බෙන්නෙම නැති හින්දා අපස්රි උගේ තියෙන ඩ්‍රොප්ස් එක නම් හොඳටම අප්ග්‍රේඩ් කරපු එකෙක්. ඒක නම් පට්ට RNG ඇත්තරම. මොකද කාඩ්ස් දැන් මේක මම ගොඩක් ඒවා දිනන්නේ මොකද මම අර එක දිගට පැදුන හින්දා මැච් මේකින් එකෙන් මට බෆ් එකක් දීලා තියෙන එක. ආරුවර ඩැමේජ් ඔෆ් එක දාන්න 130. මගේ ගොඩක් බලන්නකො recommended ඒවා missing. Recommended cards. මේ ගේම් වල තියෙන ලොකෝම ප්‍රශ්නේ RNG වලින් අර දැන් නර්ෆ් එහෙම කරනවානේ ප්ලේයර්ස් ලා එක දිගට දින්නාම එතකොට දින්නහමත් කිසිම මේකක් නැහැ සැටිස්ෆැක්ෂන් නැහැ මොකද ඒකත් RNG නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ගේම් එකෙන්ම ඒක හිතලම දෙන්නේ. දැන් මේ රවුන්ඩ් ටික ඔක්කොම දින්න එක අනිකරම උනේ මම එක දිගට කලින් අර ගේම් එකෙන් මාව පරද්දලා ඊට පස්සේ ගේම් එකෙන්ම දෙනවා දිනන්න. උනන් එන්නික 400 IQ බිල්ඩ එකක් කරන්න ඒක හින්දා ෂුවර් නෑ ඌ මට. ආ ඌට චී හැබැයි චී ගාඩ් එකක් නෑ. කියන ලොකුම වීක්නස් එක. එකක්වත් මට ගන්න බෑනේ බලන්න. අර ලොකු කාඩ් එක මට කලින් හම්බුනේම නෑ. ඒක තමයි මොකේ හරි මං අල්ටිය. බල්ටිය ගන්න මදි. අරු ඩැමේජ් ඕවර් ටයිම් එකක් දාගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඩැමේජ් ඕවර් ටයිම් මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ස්ටැක් වුණොත් කේස්. ඉවරයි රවුන්ඩ් එකත්. දැකයි පරදින්න වෙලාව හරි මොකද මේක වින්ස් ටිකක් දුන්නොත් එහෙම ඊළඟ එකේ පරද්දනවා. ෆස්ට් රවුන්ඩ් පළවෙනි රවුන්ඩ්ස් තුනම ඒ කියන්නේ 100%ක්ම RNG. බලන්න මට ඩැමේජ් කාඩ් එකක් නැති හින්දා මාර අම්මා ඒක නම් ඒක මං කිව්වේ තනිකරම RNG අරූගේ RNG චොරහුණු හින්දා නැතෝ මේ මට හම්බුන කාඩ්ස් හින්දා නෙමෙයි. අප්පා ඇතියන් කාඩ් එක. අර බලන්න කරුගේ හෙල්ත එක ෆුල්ම ගත්ත එවුනත් ගේ මැනා රීජන් කරන්න බැරිහිද වැඩක් නෑ හෙල්ත් රීජන් කරට එක හොඳයි ටීම් ෆයිට් එකකදී අප්ග්‍රේඩ් එක නම් හරි චයිනා ෂෝ එක බල බල හිටිය පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න ඉතුරු ටිකත් බලලා ඉවර
这是
කරමු
对待客户啊，这对待这是平安人寿啊，平安人寿。
Ping An is a bank, by the way.
An insurance
这是平安人寿啊，这是潍坊平安人寿退保险的时候啊跟我说，下班了打算报警啊，一会儿等一下咱们这个警方来看怎么处理。
你看啊，来中国平安要钱退保险啊，欺骗我购买保险，然后把我轰出来了，然后他们也关门了。
So what happens is these insurance companies, right? You can surrender your policy and you get some of your money back.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
They don't have money to give back right
Nope.
now. This is a state top insurance company and bank.
Yes.
They can't pay their customers. There's something bad going on.
And that guy lost about 100,000 RMB
Yeah.
on that. I read the whole blurb,
Yeah.
but it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just Ping An is a massive bank, okay, and that's their life insurance division. It's just boggles the mind. Right now, if you're in China and you wanted to go to the bank to withdraw large sums of money, you can't. Like everybody,
depending on where you
like
are.
pretty much everyone. I've been seeing stories about people. Even if they want to withdraw a little bit amount of money, they need to give reasons why. You know, it's your money.
making it
but-
hard.
Yeah, they're making it super hard to get your money out, which is worrying.
Yeah.
Anyway, some netizens were laughing and chuckling about these images. This is outside of the Hikvision. It's kind of funny. It's called Hikvision.
Yeah. Looking at Hicks.
Yeah, exactly. The Hikvision, headquarters, and they've got these little test areas to test their surveillance cameras. By the way, Hikvision has sold all across the globe. Okay, it's probably one of the most popular surveillance cameras.
Not here.
Yeah, well, not anymore, but they were. They used to be.
It's because we're not wusses. And we
Yeah.
ban things that should be banned.
Well, yeah, it's maybe a little too late. Like you finally find out that there's poison
we
in
shouldn't
the
have
water.
done it?
No, you should have done it earlier.
Yeah. Well, no one
But-
else did.
Yeah, exactly. Hikvision, you'll find them across the entire world, and they
Yeah, they did
are.
FIFA or whatever. Right?
Yeah, they are Chinese cameras, and they do talk back to China. Look it up, you can see. But anyway, here they are testing them, and it's quite hilarious just the amount they've crammed onto these poles. Okay, and now we got to cover the guy in Sheeping. Remember? Yeah, Cornfield man. Now he got arrested on August 8th, I believe. Right? They did arrest him, and he was ratted out by some people in a place called, was it Luohe?
Yeah. I do want to say, if you guys missed this,
Yes.
a guy fought back and killed a CCP official in his farming town.
Supposedly corrupt official
Yes.
that had been
Everyone
harassing
hated
the
him.
locals, and because of that, there was an outpouring of support for him,
Yes.
and everyone was
And
leaving
China got
food in
one.
the cornfields.
Yeah, because he fled.
But here's the thing: how far away did they catch him?
Like 29 kilometers away.
Yeah, so we
29
got
miles away, I think.
29 miles. We've got footage of the arrest here,
It's
and
gotta
yeah,
be set up.
yeah, we were like, this.
It's
yeah.
gotta be set up. Because people are leaving gifts, cars for him. He was a hero to
Yeah,
these people.
yeah.
Because he stood up against the government, right?
Yeah.
So they finally catch him, right? And here's
Yes.
the arrest.
Let's pay attention to the far right one.
Yeah.
They caught him 29 miles away in a cornfield,
Yeah.
which seems a bit sus.
Yes. By the way, don't get us out of this and then skip past this part because I think they pulled down his shorts to check him
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean, a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit.
Oh, yeah. You don't want
But
to
no, we
see,
can look
nobody,
at,
nobody wants to see
no,
that.
I'm just saying we can look at this part. So they
Yeah.
caught him in a cornfield. Like, so he became like synonymous with hiding in a cornfield.
Yes, because everybody was leaving
Yes.
stuff in the cornfields. Everyone knew he escaped into this cornfield, but then he went
And so
far
they
away.
catch him in a cornfield.
But far away
But
from
far away
from the cornfield
like
he was hiding
he
in.
didn't get harbored by someone else or like go on the lam and try to like get out of there or whatever. He's not gonna hide in another cornfield.
Yeah, we're pretty confident that they set up the arrest for optics in a cornfield.
Yeah,
they
the
probably caught him and then they like, let's take him to the
Yes.
nearest cornfield and
Yes.
pretend to arrest him there.
Because like if they caught him in the original cornfield, okay, maybe, even though they had thermals and like
Yes.
freaking arrow, like it was crazy. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
Well, I think they did this because they don't want to say that he got that far.
Sure.
I don't think they actually want to say that he got that far, and they don't want to dwell on that. So if they show him getting caught in a cornfield, people's minds,
Yeah.
they'll say, "Oh, well, this dude was just caught exactly. They didn't have a hard time finding him.
No.
You know, if you do something bad, you're gonna get caught. It's kind of like
Yeah,
that.
for sure. Yeah. I'll see. I'll stop it before that.
No, you won't.
No, I will. Okay, I'll get us out of there. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's included. I just want to be careful.
Oh yeah, I gotta make sure that we're not.
You can watch us and listen to this
Yeah.
glorious audio.
It's kind of lame because you missed the fun part on the other side.
There's nothing fun about this.
Well, not that. I'm talking about this. Okay, you can't see anything here, but
Yeah.
over there they drag him in front of the police station there to take a photo, and he's smiling. Is the fun part?
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. You see, he's like, there he is. He's
That's
like,
just gonna make so much more support for those locals.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a hero to them.
whether he's a hero or a villain, no one really knows.
I said to them.
But to them,
didn't
he's a
say-
hero.
I didn't say
Yeah,
he's a
no,
hero.
for sure. Okay, I will. Let's see. Get us out. I mean, get us in here, and let's get to the next part. No, they're not seeing anything. I'll just wait until after they've done the.
Can't scroll through.
Okay, all right. We can bring it back. Yeah, that's it. We can bring it back now. The footage of them dragging him around. Obviously, they made a big deal out of this because he really embarrassed the CCP.
Sure.
You know.
Of course. So I want you to scroll through. I want you to get to the part where what happened afterwards with the villagers. You don't have to watch this all.
Okay, sure. We'll get to the part. I will fast forward slightly. Okay. It's a massive photo op, isn't it?
It is, and they really took advantage of this, right?
Yeah.
For optics, like China will catch anyone or whatever.
Oh yeah. So then
So
this
here's what
happened.
happens.
Yeah. They found out that what was it, Loge? I think it was Loge.
Keep asking me that. I already
Yeah.
said
Yeah, I'm just checking because there's
Yes.
another place. There's another law something or other.
Come on.
Okay, so Loge, someone in Loge ratted him out.
Apparently, we don't know that.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. How do you think? Of course, they want that to be an incentivized system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows how we got caught? There's no footage of that.
Yeah.
There's the footage of him in a cornfield.
Yeah, exactly. But the story
Yes,
is that
yeah.
somebody in Loge ratted him out, so people are really angry at the little town of Loge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so everyone's kind of boycotting the products from there.
Yes.
And they're also upset because, like, this was a hero to these guys, like
Yes.
I said, right? And I think actually probably a lot more regionally than just where he was from. I think he was probably quite a big hero in all of that part
Yeah.
of Henan.
Yeah.
Because they all deal with this kind of, like,
Yeah.
getting hosed down by CCP officials and stuff.
Exactly. So now all these people are like, we're not going to buy any produce from Loge anymore.
Yeah.
We're not going to support you. Anything that you sell or do, we're not going to support you.
This guy's hair is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an out. It was a burst, a massive burst of like anti-law support. Really,
Yes.
it's kind of masked though. It's anti-government.
Yes.
Right? They're like, how dare you take out this guy that was our hero?
Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting. Nothing like this has happened in recent times.
No, it was an interesting story.
Yeah.
I actually am shocked that it took them that long to catch him.
Me too.
Shocked.
Well, you saw the amount of soldiers that they
Yeah.
deployed, and I mean, they tried.
They tried.
You know, they had everybody in their dugout looking for him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's like when you get to a situation where your society is like celebrating a dude that had to murder someone
Yeah.
as like a hero. There's mirrors of that anywhere in the world, but in China specifically, like they're worshiping this guy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. isn't it
And now he's
crazy?
gone. They're gonna execute him for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
If he's not already
Yeah.
executed.
Yeah, look.
They actually might put him on a show trial. for optics as well.
Yeah.
But they'll kill him for sure.
Yeah, or they just want this to go away.
Yeah, but they're gonna execute him.
Yeah, for sure they will. Yeah.
There's no question.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Anyway, you get all these guys. A lot of support for this dude out there.
Yeah, they're like throwing their pears and apples away from the Lohe area. I guess they make a lot of fruit there.
It's a big area.
Corn too,
Yeah.
as we know.
Definitely. The guy, it's just, I love to think the logic of this CCP is like, people will believe this. Okay, so he escapes for like a week or whatever.
Yeah. He was gone for a long time.
long time.
Like 2 weeks.
And then we find him in another corn. We
Yes.
find him in the corn.
Yeah, we've been searching in this
Yes.
cornfield this whole time, so
We
we're
got
going to
him.
find him in a cornfield.
This
That's-
cornfield was 40 miles long, or like
Yeah,
29 miles
exactly.
long or whatever. It just went on for 29 miles.
That's
Caught
correct.
him at the other end of it. Ridiculous.
A lot of outraged people here. Surprised they're putting their faces out there. It's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we saw that in the beginning. I'm surprised people were going out there and leaving their cars and like making videos and being like, "Oh, the crops need to be watered," and leaving water there.
Yeah,
and
I know.
stuff. You know, they know what's at risk here.
Yeah,
but
they
that shows
do.
you how dire their lives are.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, if they're willing to sacrifice it all.
We met people all over China that, especially in rural places, the local officials are tyrants.
They really are.
They're
Yeah.
true tyrants,
Yep.
and they get away with everything. Yep.
Anyway, let's fast forward some
Yeah,
of these
of course.
angry people going on.
Get a little- You guys get a little idea
Okay.
of what that was.
Yeah.
His face filters are out of control.
They really are.
This is nuts.
They're really whitening this dude's teeth. And they're giving him lipstick too.
Smooth to makeup face.
Yeah, it's not really working to make him more attractive, I'll be honest. Okay.
He was super hot before.
Wow, there's a lot of these guys.
This is
Okay. Yeah, it's excellent. It's excellent to see an outpouring of support anyway.
Yeah, it's depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You know.
Obviously, we're not supporting what the guy
Yeah.
did, but I'm saying like it's good to see
A cause.
Yeah, a cause being stood up. It's time for Worldview, where we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. What's this?
You can go through that. I got to pull up the patron poll.
Chinese national pleads guilty to trying to obtain U.S. military equipment. Oh yeah, you know, this is that guy who tried to scam to buy like satellite modems.
In Salt Lake City, yeah.
Yeah, typical type stuff. I'm glad they caught him.
Yeah. Shout out. Okay, can I say the patron poll now?
Sure.
So every week we vote on what the next topic of our show on Patreon is on Monday.
Yeah.
And so it's a democratic vote. And we had 4 topics going. We had we're going to look at Chinese cringe commercials.
Yeah.
We had worst Chinese clothes, meaning like weird fashion that takes off in China but not elsewhere. It's
Yes,
like
yes.
just in China. We had Chinese province stereotypes, and we had China's fast food chains explanation and ranking. And that is the winner. China's fast food chains explanation and ranking. We're going to go through all of China's fast food. So, you know, we have McDonald's and KFC.
Yeah, they've got like Jin Gong Fu and
Yes.
that type of thing.
They have those, but they also have Chinese versions.
Dickos.
We've had all of them.
Yes.
Like a lot.
Yes.
And so we will rank them and explain them. We even have some footage of us eating some of
Yes,
this
we
stuff.
do.
And we'll talk about where the state of China's fast food is, because
Yeah.
there is some current examples of them trying to break into the American market as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a fun one. Thanks, guys, for voting on that, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so of course this was pretty big. This guy handed over $40,000 and then he started to hand over large sums of cryptocurrency in order to try and get a hold of these these satellite modems and so on. Again, it just shows you that China, you know, everyone says China's living in the future.
Well, they're stealing the future.
Yeah, they're just stealing it. They're just stealing what
Stealing
they want.
the future.
Yeah, exactly. They just steal it because they can't make it themselves. Why not just create your own? You know, why you gotta steal all the time?
You know how much I have to fight with
Mm-hmm.
Google about like Chinese innovation? Because I always have to confirm if something was actually innovated by China or not.
Yeah.
It never is.
No.
And Google or any of these AI summary type things will be like, yes. And then you fight it and it's like, oh, you're right.
Yeah,
It's not.
It boils down to, oh no, they just changed the supply chain and made it faster, but it's actually a design that comes from somewhere else.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, this was a quick little Reddit post that we wanted to read here, just as a bit of a warning.
Yeah, because a lot of people are traveling
Yeah.
to China right now.
So this guy, basically, I'll try to cut it down, but he wanted to go into Shanghai and he was detained for 9 hours. Okay. I'll just read his what happened to me thing. 9-hour detention. Border agents were completely baffled by my remote work setup and frequent travel history. I was held and interrogated for over 9 hours.
This is recently.
Yeah, full device. It's like a week or two ago.
You can get us out so
Yeah.
people can read it.
All right, yeah, well. All belongings were confiscated. Officials searched every photo on my phone, purchase histories inside and outside of China, and took photos of my entire contact list. The main flag interrogators fixated on a single instance in 2024 where I taught an online lesson to a private student based in China. I am no longer working in the education field. No explanation. Despite having a registered address and local friends willing to vouch for me, immigration didn't...
It's the next
okay, it's the next, okay. Let's see. We're getting there. It's one of these long slides again, apparently. Long slide. Come on, slide into the next one. Slide. Let's do it. It's like, yeah, slide into the DMs over here. Okay. Immigration refused to give me a formal reason, canceled my visa, and escorted me straight to a plane. Takeaways. Remote work equals illegal work. Chinese border officials do not accept digital nomadism. Any digital trace of remote work or online tutoring connected to China will be treated as illegal employment. Exact full digital forensics, your photos, chat logs, chat logs, contacts, and payment histories are subject to inspection if you're pulled aside. No appeals. Having a local sponsor makes no difference once border agents make a decision. Be extremely careful if you fly into this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, here's something that I think a lot of people don't realize, because you see a lot of these travel shills that go there.
Yeah, like, you don't need a visa. You know?
Yeah, and they go there. What those travel shills are doing in China is illegal. You're not allowed to work on a tourist visa. And in other words, you're not allowed to earn any money. And posting on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever is working, because those people, that's their profession. They're travel shills. That's what they do. They travel or travel channels, I should say. And they make a living out of that. So by definition, it's illegal. But because it serves China's purpose, they allow it.
Well, they fund it.
Yeah, they fund it and allow it. Yeah, so that's why you see that. But it is actually technically illegal. Yeah. And this is what China does, is it bends the laws when it helps them, but they really crack down if they want to.
It's like how an Olympian, it might not be Chinese citizen until, we'll give her citizenship. Oh, wait, we can't, because you can't have dual citizenship. That's okay, we'll make an exception.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
There's no rules.
Yeah, there are no rules when it benefits China. But as this guy did, is he obviously did some online teaching a while ago, and they saw that in his history.
Not
and
in
so on.
China, though.
No, when he was abroad.
Student.
And they're like, this guy does like online work, and he probably came with his laptop and all that stuff. And they're like, no, he's going to be working and earning money here, which is illegal, and they canceled his visa. So just a little bit of a warning. Remember that China sucks when it comes to this kind of thing. And this guy's story might wake a few people up, because
you don't
again,
want to deal with this.
even if, let's say, everything's fine, because I'd say like 80-90% of the time you're fine. You'll go through, doesn't matter what, they'll let you through, and it's no big deal. But if you are pulled aside, they will go through your phone. So if you're going to go to China, maybe take a burner phone. Maybe don't take a phone
Also,
with
you're gonna
all
have
of your
to
old
put
stuff.
You're gonna have to put Chinese apps on your phone, right? You don't want to do that on your main phone. Your phone's gonna have malware, basically, connected to China for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So-
look, they've got all these different ways they'll plug your phone into. Even if you don't give them access, they'll plug your phone in, and it can strip all the data out. I mean, it happened to a guy I know, and they got his whole Google search history and everything. They went through everything, and they denied him entry.
Yeah.
Just one of those things.
Yeah.
So just bear that in mind. A little bit of a warning. It's not a friendly state.
No. Or
You
country.
know? Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, whatever. Same thing.
It is.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
Let's move on from this guy's little.
Long slide.
Yeah, this is.
Why don't you slide?
Yeah, there we go. Oh, this is awesome.
Yes. So there's a guy that bought this building over here. You see in the red?
Yeah, you see that red,
Yes.
where it's pointing down.
Yes.
That's
So-
what he bought. He bought that building, which is like really close to the
White House.
the White House and the Treasury and all that.
Now, before we get into it, I want to read what he said. He said, the CCP is like a kind but firm parent. Okay?
Okay.
It has guided our people out of hardship, led China's sons and daughters to build a new country, and is steering us toward great national rejuvenation.
This is the guy that bought the building.
Yes. Okay. Now, that's a bit of a red flag, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So if we look at the map even more closely, you have the White House grounds here,
Yes.
and you have just hundreds of feet away.
125 meters away from
the
the
grounds.
Treasury Department.
Yeah.
The grounds there.
You have the building that was bought by this Chinese multimillionaire.
Oh, by the way, he's something more than just a Chinese multimillionaire. We're going to explain. This is important, by the way. Guys, just stick around for this. This is super
I
important.
don't know why they wouldn't. It's
I'm just
very
saying, like, this
Yeah.
is super important.
So this guy, Shanghai native, right, held 3 positions in the CCP Influence and Intelligence Agency of the United Workfront.
Yes.
Right. This is basically the department that can spreads China's influence around the world.
Yes, yes.
Right. Gets in the education system,
Yeah.
tries to get people in government, that kind of stuff. Right. Their operations are a blend of engagement, influence activities, and intelligence operations.
Right.
They use that Beijing uses to steer foreign policy and gain access to foreign technology, right?
Yeah.
So this guy was directly involved with that.
Yeah, the kind of people that will go out and approach people on LinkedIn to kind of get them to sell state secrets or military secrets,
it's
like
spies.
that kind of thing.
Spy
It's all a
stuff.
spy. He's basically a spy. Yeah.
Yeah. So this dude bought this building, right?
Yeah.
This property allows access for big splashy intel ops as well as far more classic ops like a listening post or Stingray-like systems to collect phone calls, text messages, and digital exhaust, right? And that was
As
from
former CIA
CIA
operations said, yeah.
He's gonna know what this is, right? That's all great for collecting targeting information to later bump or recruit targets out in the world,
Yeah.
who otherwise work inside a key U.S. government building. But what's especially alarming are emerging ops that properties like this allow, like hidden drone swarms or shipping container missiles. And he goes on to say how dangerous this actually is.
Yes.
So you have basically like a CIA, like China's CIA spy operative equivalent.
Yes, he's
in
bought this building right near the White House.
next to the
Yeah.
White House. How is that allowed?
Yeah.
How is that allowed?
Well, it's even worse because guess what? He's a trained sniper and is in fact one of China's top snipers.
Classmate Qiu Fei Li, who had undergone special forces training in China,
Yes, yeah.
served as a commander in the Red Blue Battle, and not only directed his troops to successfully capture enemy positions, but also killed 1/3 of opposing forces with 42 shots, achieving the best individual sniper record.
Yes.
So you have a
These
sniper
are training
spy.
exercises, yeah.
Yes, you have a sniper spy, dude.
You know,
In a
you know what's good at
What?
you know what snipers are good at is they're good at finding vantage points
Yeah.
to track targets and to acquire targets. So he's obviously picked the best vantage point here that overlooks the White House, where you've got very high value targets walking around.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a good thing. Why would you allow a special forces Chinese spy sniper to buy a building next to the White House? Are you insane?
What?
Who did this?
What?
Who allowed this?
Next.
Who actually allowed this?
This is an investigative report by the Daily Caller. It's linked down below. by the way.
Excellent.
You can read the whole thing.
Yeah. This guy, by the way, said CCP Intel official Philip Chu, who is trained as a sniper, bought a historic building overlooking the White House. Dude, I'm sorry, but... And that guy deals in security, by the way.
You can read it.
Okay, CCP intelligence agents have been caught buying properties around military installations and critical infrastructure where they commit espionage in preparation of sabotage. Lucci warned.
That's that guy.
Yeah. Now, even more of our most important national assets are being put at risk by the proximity of a man who has multiple CCP intelligence and security affiliations, just 200 meters from executive facilities that should be completely off limits from adversary actors. We need government action to force the sale of the commercial property controlled by the CCP associate and to ban on this happening in the future. And I agree. You know, just like you said, if you own a building, not only can you set up like telephoto lenses
Yeah.
and stuff out of the windows to like spy
Yeah.
on everything. You can set up radio, microwave microphones,
Yeah.
laser microphones. Sorry, you can set up electronic gathering equipment that can just intercept like cellular signals and whatever else, radio signals. It's absurd. Right next to the White House. It's
The
just,
most important building in America politically.
it's as if like I don't know, like a CIA top. I don't know, commando went and bought a building next to Zhongnanhai,
doesn't
in
make
China.
sense.
They would
That
never
would
allow
never
that.
happen.
Foreigners can't buy
You can't
property
buy property,
anyway.
period.
But like in China, it's just like stop.
Unreal.
It's unreal.
Unreal.
Yeah. This is just like I don't know, man. They've jumped the shark with this one. You know?
It's insane.
Whoever's in charge of this kind of stuff, fix it.
Yeah, we don't need to continue. You guys can read
You
the whole
guys get the idea. This is bad.
Yes,
Okay.
obviously.
And we got to stop allowing this crap.
What's this is funny, but
A little bit of AI humor over
Yeah,
here.
but it's sad.
Yeah, exactly.
So this Chinese farmer used AI
Yeah.
to be like, how do I deal with my 25 acres of crops, right? And the Chinese AI told them to do this and this and this, and
Yes.
all of the crops died.
Yeah, it's like that time we needed a car part and we
Yeah.
looked it up and the AI
It
was
was
like,
wrong.
definitely this one. And then we bought this expensive car part and it didn't fit. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right to
That's
push
on
back.
me.
That's on me.
And so he said, oh, if it's on you, then pay for it. And they're like, oh, I can't do that.
Exactly. Well, I mean, this time what's he going going to do? You killed all my crops. It'll be like,
I'll come
"Oh,
over and plant some new ones.
Yeah, 就是我的错."
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
that's my fault.
exactly. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Sad. but
Speaking
fun.
of AI,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
So this is something we've been talking about for a while. More
Yes.
so about search results. So China's been doing something called SEO, search engine optimization. What they do is they pay to get their search results higher on rankings. So if you ask, what about the Uyghur genocide?
It'll say like Native Americans
It
in
will.
America were genocided.
It did.
That goes to the
we
top.
proved that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first article that would come up is Native American genocide in America, right?
Which
So-
has got nothing to do with Uyghurs.
no, and from a Chinese source, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
So they've been doing that for years, and that's in an effort for big data to kind of like be able to comb through all this stuff and then take AI answers and then mold them to those results. So
Yes.
now they found with a bunch of AI assistants that if you ask sensitive questions about China, they will censor on behalf of China first. And it's not the AI system's fault. It's because that's the only data they have access to first, or the most of, right?
Yes, yes.
So you'll see them citing real sources from the CCP
Yes.
instead of actually going out there and finding third-party information about this stuff.
It's a problem, man.
It's bad. It's going to affect the education system because now all these kids in school or whatever are using AI summaries for their work. It's
Yes.
all just going to glaze China and say that CCP did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Not only that, it's telling people that China invented things it didn't
Yeah,
invent.
100%.
You know, it's telling people that China is good for the environment when it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
China's amazing and the cure for everything.
Yeah.
It's what it's telling them, and it's very frustrating because when we do research now, we incorporate, sometimes we look up in AI what's going on in certain things.
Yeah.
And it's just, it lies blatantly
does.
on China's behalf.
Until you push back. And it's
Yeah.
like, hey, oh, yeah, it's on me. It's my fault. That's totally on me, bro.
Yeah, what's this?
So there's this transshipment scam. So we talked about this a long time ago, or for many years, about how China has these loopholes to make sure their products get into the U.S. basically at no cost.
Yes.
So then they outcompete all local American business.
Yes.
So when there were, kind of measures put against China for those things, what they did was they would send them to other countries to get them relabeled and say, oh, no, this is actually made in Vietnam. No, this is made in Canada. No, this is made
Korea.
in Mexico. This
Yeah.
is made in Korea. And it's actually, still a Chinese product, which is not supposed to end up
Yes.
in the U.S. without tariffs, right?
Yeah, they would ship. I remember there was like a mattress factory in Korea, but it wasn't. There was a warehouse. They'd make the mattresses
Yeah.
in China, ship them over, put the label, like sew the label on "Made in Korea," and then send it.
Did that in Ghana as well,
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
So they found out this is like up to $26 billion of missed tariffs
Yes.
mostly from China, right?
Yeah.
These countries are basically these hubs where they're repackaging this
Well,
stuff.
it's China's taken advantage of it. It's that's the thing. They set up these illegal warehouses, and they do what they're doing is illegal. They set it up, and it's difficult for the countries to keep an eye on this
Yeah.
stuff.
So hopefully something's done about that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Next up, we have Taiwan.
敌军是从这个南洋溪这边做登陆。
So Taiwan's going through their annual military drills in preparation for if China were to invade.
Yes.
They've really ramped it up though.
Yeah.
Because it's looking more and more like a thing that will eventually happen.
Well, China keeps harassing them every day. China sends planes to fly over into their airspace, like fighter jets, and sends boats to surround them all the time, that kind of thing.
I saw some very interesting interviews with some Taiwanese people that are they have their own like militias and stuff. Basically,
Yeah.
they're all set up and they're like, we're not going to give up this, our country.
No.
This is our democracy.
Exactly.
Which is fascinating because they're doing these air raid drills, and so everyone like has to get to cover or whatever, and everyone's phones will say, hey, this is a simulated invasion, right?
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Listen to it.
To this. This is the annual air raid drill that's happening in Taipei. Now on my phone, I've got a message saying that this is the air defense drill that's happening and everyone needs to take shelter.
So
The
you
air
can
drill
turn
happened
it down
today.
here. What was interesting is they've done some other drills now. They've done a throttling internet drill, so where
Yes.
you can't really
Because
use
China will
the
cut.
internet.
China wants to cut the
Yeah.
undersea cables all the time. They do it anyway.
And so what the Taiwanese government wants to do is see how people respond in that scenario.
Yes.
So they do these limited kind of drills in certain areas where they cut off the internet and see what people do to be able to communicate to each other.
Yes, yes.
Not to be like, let's see if there's chaos. It's like, let's see what people do to stay safe. Let's see how people kind of
how they can
get
cope
their
with that
cope
situation.
and get their people together and kind of help each other out and bring food and water and all that kind of stuff.
You will still be able to send out all those emergency messages and stuff without internet because it'll be, you know, the basic local infrastructure will still allow them to do that. So.
Sure. So it's been interesting to see Taiwan really kind of taking this seriously this year.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of coverage.
As they should.
And I did like to see all the news coverage about it, because for once people around the world gets to see like how meaningful this is. It's not like, oh, if China invades, like they're preparing for this and they're getting ready.
100%. Well, guys, it's time for us to move on to our Q&A segment. That is Yamcha. That's where we answer your questions and you question our answers. So it's Friday after all. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. If you're not watching us live or on the weekend, we bid you farewell. You know, what did Higglepuff say? It's like hi or whatever. Then he walks out. He's like, so
you guys know, you know.
You know, stay awesome, guys. Like, what's it? Pepper on top? Yeah.
Major favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Plate of vegetables. Anyway,
if you don't know, you're gonna be like, what is happening right now?
Anyway, guys, have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay awesome.
Indeed.
And for everybody else, let's get cracking. Loosen the tie.
Let us.
Yeah, have a drink.
Mike Stewart says, for your information, world, another Chinese-Canadian Liberal MP, Sean Chen, got caught up in the CCP scandals. Interesting.
What a surprise.
Bibbo Nagy says, Friday will not be the same without Peng's and Pig Bay song. Hit it, Winston. Watching you from Memphis, Tennessee.
You know what? He does have a point.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. David says, great work, guys. In honor of the Wisconsin governor losing candidate Francesca Hong, can we hear Honorable Willie Medisha mention her name?
Sure.
Honorable Hong.
Hang on, there's got to be a second one.
Hong. To hell with you.
Okay, we're good.
Mike Stewart says, Dr. Frank Decatur knows stuff about China on YouTube.
Oh.
Cantonese Robert says, hey, gents, as usual, be blessed. Enjoy a weekend. Cool drink on me.
Thank you.
Last week's segment was one of my favorite in quite a while.
Oh,
also, the Huawei AI 5G SUV is definitely Yao Yao Ling Xian, I assure.
Yeah.
Kenneth, thank you very much. Sig, I don't know what that is. Funkapotamus says, this pig from last week got irritated for onboarding Bay next week. I don't know how to make this work. Just let me have a win.
Okay, I'll let you have a win. There you go.
Donald Carter says Port of Dandong.
Yeah, we can have a Port of Dandong. Why not?
Port of Dandong.
Mike Stewart also says, was Major General Mao Shen-yu the executive producer of that shite movie?
Man, that was a bad movie. Well, we got to try find it though.
Yes.
I kind of really want to see.
I gotta see
Yeah.
it. I would love to have a watch party on Shaban,
yeah.
the patron. It'd be amazing.
I know.
8D. It would be so frustrating having no live translate all the time though.
Yeah, that does kind of suck.
That's just CCP surrealism. Daisy says, happy early birthday to Winston. Wishing you a good one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Play your favorite clip of the day.
My favorite clip of the day today is going to be, how about...
It must be nice to live in a real country.
Yeah, because we do live in a real country, you know?
Yes. The Grimmest Kings has been a long time since I've seen you. Been so busy, but I catch the patron.
360 online days, but 2 was fine. 3 was great. I got like a lot of hours into that one. And it's a shame that like 4 and 5 have kind of spoiled a lot of its pedigree. Gears Tactics was good, but it's also a very crushingly difficult like strategy game, considering it's like a console. Like, here's your first baby's first this type of game, and it's like, oh, it's really difficult. But either way, rather than keep yapping about the good old days, how about we get into Gears of War? And to give you guys...
throw on the American accent every time you say Gears of War.
Dom, I'm going to throw a grenade at the locust. Dom, I'm going to curb stomp him. I love my French boys. But yes, so the series is set on a planet, not an entire galactic star-spanning civilization. It's just one world, and it's called Serra. And Serra is marked in the timeline by two initials. You've got BE, which is before emergence, and AE, which is after emergence. There's some really cool, like Shies are sharing some cool like artwork from some of the books you can get. There's like a nice amount of like background, subtle storytelling a la Dark Souls in some regards, when you see some of the historical figures in big portraits, some of the enormous buildings, which are very Warhammer, where it's like, hey, look at this like chamber. Why is the door 70 feet tall? Who the hell's walking through this? And to be fair, Gears of War is extremely heavily inspired by Warhammer. You've got the chainsaw bayonet, you've got these gigantic infrastructures, you've got the power armor, but it's a lot more small scale.
Yeah.
And to give you an idea...
It's interesting. I saw that second picture Shy posted. I was like, I think she got the wrong game. That looks like Assassin's Creed to me. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
I doubt you'd be doing much parkour with Marcus Phoenix, I've got to be honest. He's like jumping off the buildings and then instantly gravity. He's like, nope.
That is a guy who would break the cart that you landed in. He is not doing a soft landing. He is obliterating anything that he touches.
I don't know. Have you seen some of those like pro tournament level Gears of War things where we're doing that crouch strat to move around
the
real
roadie
quick?
run shotgun. Yeah. We love it. We love
shit is wild. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. But yeah, so the very beginning that we know of in this setting is about 5000 BE, or before emergence, where early human civilization was basically centered around a nation known as Peles, and they used rudimentary voting systems and government. They exchanged currency using pottery and shards and stuff like that. By the time of 1079 BE, the Age of Armageddon has begun, where there's so much conflict, Serra is almost brought to ruin, and so all the people are like, hey, we just had like a millennia-long fight. Let's chill the hell out for a bit, all right? We've done enough damage. And so about 980 BE, the nation of Goraznaya begins to rise to power. This is a fairly important setting in the world later on. But for now, it's like one of the few empires. And in this so-called Silver Era, spanning from 980 to about 480 BE, there are nations Goraznaya and Kashur, and they're the two most powerful empires of Serra. And whilst Kashur starts building these massive fortresses, like the most popular one being Anvil Gate, which is in one of the books, and it's also in Gears of War 3. You get to explore it a bit. There's, these nations are starting to rise, and the small nations which would eventually become the fulcrums of the coalition of ordered governments, Tyrus and Ephira, at this point are just small villages. And just to give you an idea, there's going to be another faction later on. All you need to know is that the protagonist faction is very small at this time. Their opposition at this time, big. Empires, massive. And at this point, it's, fighting with swords and shields and chariots. There's no guns. And at this point, Goraznaya, one of the bigger ones, is about 4 million people across its empire. And as the centuries start to pass, the power of this particular nation starts to dwindle. There's the Archipelago Wars back in 130 BE, where several smaller nations start destroying each other over resources. They're shelling each other with crude artillery for the time. And though little is known about the war, there are still remnants of like the damage they did to their environment to this day. And at about 117 BE, the Age of Silence began. And you might think, oh, that sounds bad. It's like, no, it's not like that. It's silent as in the guns have stopped firing. At this point, Sarah's population are like, hey, let's just put the flowers in the barrels, guys. Let's be nice to each other. Let's be like not shooting at each other. And so a golden age of peace reigns for a while. There's cultural renaissance in art, technology, science. Humanity is starting to demilitarize en masse. People are starting to grow weary of, all this war and bloodshed. Although there's a lot of dismantling of civil liberties thrown in with that. So
I'm not going to lie, I was waiting for the catch because I was like, this all sounds really good. This sounds great, and I don't feel like it's going to stay this nice.
A recurring trend with this series is the civil liberties thing, which we'll get into later. And again, it is kind of like Gears of War. Oh, I see, a cog in the machine. Haha, very clever. And at this point, this golden age of peace, humanity starts developing nuclear technology, which is pretty good. But very quickly, it starts to run out. That's a bit of a shame. And by 80 BE, a scientist called Dr. Helen Cooper develops a technique known as the light mass process. And there's this resource underground called emulsion. And what she does is she develops a technology to harness this emulsion into a power source, which makes everything else superfluous. We're talking about fossil fuels, gone. Nuclear energy, gone. We're just going to use emulsion for everything. It's like this yellow goo. And so a new gold age, a gold rush begins for Sarah, where everything runs on emulsion. But there's a catch. Because emulsion is so plentiful, it becomes very cheap. And then there becomes this gold rush to see who can harvest the most mass of emulsion. And it's very efficient when it's used in technologies. However, only a few countries have vast resources of emulsion to harvest. And these are the ones such as Ephyra and Tyrus, where the coalition are going to starting to compile power. And as the demand for emulsion quickly outpaces production needs and certain nations fall behind, there's a massive economic collapse across a lot of Sarah. Because they're like, we have the technology, we have the need, but we just don't have it native to where we live. So it's really difficult. Oh no, we have to barter with the people who have all of it. What do they want when they have the most efficient energy source there is? And so a lot of countries become bankrupt. And and all of these smaller countries band together and they form the UIR, which is the Union of Independent Republics. And basically by 79 BE, they are a conglomeration of tons of different small countries, of which Goraznaya was one of them. And now it's so dwindled that even though it's quite a large space, there's just not enough resources to keep it going. Unless something gives, it's really going to be a land grab, and there's going to be conflicts over territory. And at a similar time, the coalition of ordered governments is formed on the principles of the socialist philosopher Alexei Desipich. And Desipich says, our ideals are going to be order, diligence, purity, labor, honor, loyalty, faith, and humility. And at this point, the coalition is a small political party. But by 80 BE, the Pendulum Wars begin. And the Pendulum Wars is quite interesting because it pits the UIR, the Union of Independent Republics, against the COG, or the Coalition of Ordered Governments. And thus an 80-year war begins. Joy of joy, or dream of dreams. Don't we love a good
returns.
War? There we go.
It always does. I was like, it's gonna come back eventually, especially once it's like, oh, hey, we have this new resource. Only some of us have it. You're going bankrupt. And it's like, yeah, war is coming. Also, is the emulsion just something that is like naturally occurring on Sarah in just these few places for these few countries? It's not something that you like make?
Well, all right, let's get into that. So emulsion is superior to petroleum and gasoline and kerosene. It can be converted into alternatives of all these things. But what it is, there are these hollow creatures, and hollow creatures are these big subterranean creatures that live under the surface of Sarah. And essentially, the riftworm, which is the largest one of them, it's got to go poopy sometimes. And so emulsion is kind of like the runoff of the riftworm's poopy. When it crystallizes, it can refract light, and it's fungal in nature with no visible signs of life within it, and it's a byproduct of riftworm manure. So it's like, great, super poop fuel, amazing. And this riftworm is massive, right? These riftworms are so large, they basically make tunnels underneath the surface of Terra, which are so sprawling they are known as the Hollow. And there's the inner Hollow and the outer Hollow, which will become more important later. And a whole range of creatures, big and small, known as Hollow creatures, live under the surface of Terra. And subterranean stuff is very Gears of War. It's all about, rather than going out into space, we go underground and we fight the stuff down there. And over time, another problem arises about emulsion. Yeah, it's really, really good at like supercharging an industrial population, but there is a side effect of breathing in the fumes called rust lung. And the miners...
That sounds very bad.
It's
terrible,
very bad.
Man.
That's
terrible.
Not good. That's awful. Okay.
Yeah, some characters in the series, like Barrick, who's one of the Gears of War, I think it's free DLC character. He's also in the comics. He's like slowly dying of rust lung, but he's also a Gear, so he's like coughing up blood occasionally. Another character, Nate Diaz from Gears Tactics, eventually gets it and dies from it. It's like, rust lung is horrible, as the name might infer.
Yeah.
And so the Coalition is like, right, this is a problem. Even just in terms of we want to keep production quality high to keep the pendulum wars going in our favor, we need to find a cure for this rust lung disease, because everyone's getting it who works in like mining emulsion, and we need emulsion because that's what everything runs off. So those start to commission...
it's space black lung.
Yeah, basically. And there's no like way to like sift it out of like if you have like a mask on, it's still going to get through the filters. There's no way to like slow it down. There's no way to treat it. There's no cure. So the Coalition go, we're going to start a facility called the New Hope Research Facility, disguised as Jameson Shipping Depot. It's a secret little facility which is going to try and find a cure for rust lung, and it's headed by a guy called Dr. Niles Sampson. Dr. Niles Sampson is a terrible person. So during... you actually get to meet him in one of the facilities on like as like an AI kind of like... Have you guys ever seen like Red Dwarf, the comedy show?
Oh, yeah. A lot.
Well, you know when like Holly occasionally is like on a television screen with wheels? It's kind of like that, and it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice. That is a great... That's a great image.
Yeah. And yeah, so this, just to give you a context, this is 50 BE. So Dr. Niles is now in charge of this facility, and they figure, right, the best way we can find a cure is we take the orphaned children of the miners who were afflicted, who've probably got like onset stages of rust lung, and we'll use them as a bunch of test subjects to try and find the cure.
Oh, we're straight to orphans. He's gone straight to the orphan solution. Which
orphan
is,
test subject. I'm sure this will go well.
Classy move.
Yeah, always is. And one of these children, called Mira, for some reason has a genetic mutation which prevents her from getting rust lung. And they go, right, this is the one. We need to focus all our efforts in trying to find a way to splice her DNA into the other children to try and find a way of curing them. But it doesn't work with just human DNA. We need to find something that will act as like a catalyst. So Dr. Sampson goes, okay, I'm going to splice emulsion. I'm going to inject emulsion into the children and then try to like use DNA from the hollow creatures and Mira and try and make a kind of concoction to try and like cultivate a cure out of nowhere. And this starts to make mutated abominations known as sires. And if you played Gears of War 2, you might remember there is a level where you go into the New Hope facility long after it's been shut down, and there's a bunch of tanks full of these half-human, half-locust things with tubes sticking out their backs, completely feral.
Oh.
And yeah, they're not pretty. And bear in mind, these used to be children. So, welcome to Gears of War, everyone. It's a lot of fun.
God, is that a picture of one? I don't remember those things. Holy Jesus.
They kind of jitter around. They go like that. And then they just run at you and try to claw your face off. And like the chainsaws just the best defense. The chainsaw is always the best defense, but especially
and those were orphaned children of people that had rust lung.
Yep. Coalition of Order governments, folks. The good guys.
They were like, oh, I know how we're going to cure black lung. Let's inject the orphans with super gasoline.
And then Dr. Samson said, I'm going to do some weird shit. And then here we have Gears of War.
It's one of my favorite, like, sort of horror-esque sci-fi tropes where you've basically got one person trying to do something good, but they are clearly not the right person for the job. Like, at some point, there was a test that should have been run that was like, are you a bit of a lunatic? Because I don't think you should be here if you are. And they've managed to sail right through, and they go straight to, let's start splicing stuff together and see what happens. Because I think I've got a good feeling about this. And everyone else should be going, sir, I don't know that we should try that. And he's like, no, trust me. Oh, ignore that. I know it used to be a kid, but we just need to carry on.
On the plus side, I bet you, what are they, Sios, did you say these mutants are called?
Sires. S-I-R-E-S. Sires.
Don't have rust lung, do they?
I guess not, but I've never...
Success!
I don't know if anyone, like, because they're put on ice, I don't know if they were, like, they got close enough to try and dissect one to see if there was anything inside.
Schrodinger's rust lung.
Yeah. Does he have rust lung, or will my face be gone before I get the scalpel near his chest? I don't know. Decisions.
Leave him there and pretend it worked. It's fine.
And so, to be fair, most of the staff resign as soon as they see the first of these. They go, this is insane. Some of them leak documents to the coalition and say, this is what's actually going down. And the COG shut down New Hope. They say, this is terrible. We are shutting this down. It's unethical. You've sterilized these kids and turned them into monsters. Yeah, not a difficult decision for any politician. The papers are already spreading this around. I'm going to shut it down. And I've got a quote here from the then Chairman Monroe, on the notes I've taken. Would either DK or Kirioth, would one of you like to read out what the chairman thought about this?
Hell yeah. I don't know. I'll do it, unless you want to, Kirioth.
Yeah, I'll let you do it this time.
Sick. Awkward silence as we wait for the quote to be put in the chat.
Have you got the notes? Should be the
one I was waiting for you to put it in the chat because that's generally how we wait. Yeah, you know what? If you could just copy and paste it. Yeah.
DK's used to being ambushed by me. I'll give no warning, and then I'll just go read this, and it's usually something absolutely horrific because it's more fun that way.
Bricky does the same thing. All right,
more fun for me. I mean.
So this is our quote. By virtue of the authority vested in me as chairman of the Coalition of Ordered Governments, it is hereby ordered that all activities at the New Hope Research Facility are to be terminated, effective immediately. It is further ordered that all staff report to the House of Sovereigns, where they will stand trial and face judgment on the 13th of Bloom. As citizens of this coalition, each of us made a pledge to conduct ourselves with honor and observe principles of loyalty and purity, as it was decreed by the All-Fathers. I know no greater impurity than what has been conceived within the walls of New Hope, and no act more dishonorable than what is effectively the imprisonment and torture of children. Furthermore, the untruths told by Dr. Niles Samson and his team to protect themselves and their efforts from scrutiny indicate disloyalty of the greatest severity. Dr. Niles Samson, you have forsaken your responsibility to society, and so your society must forsake you.
Ooh. You know what, fair play to Chairman Monroe there. Just straight up, we are not having this. You are shunned and you're going to be prosecuted. For that kind of setting, for it not to be a case of the government found out and then they just gave him another job and didn't tell anyone. That's quite a refreshing change, honestly.
Yeah, well, especially with the philosophy like order, diligence, purity, mutilating children. Like, no, I don't think that's in the ideals of the COG, guys. I don't think that was one of them.
Now I'm waiting for the part where you're just like, oh, by the way, the COG actually did give him another super secret job to try and make super soldiers that they just didn't tell anyone about, and he's still experimenting on orphan children. It's just, now under the
Well-
purview of making soldiers.
Well,
No,
you say
no. That was a joke. That was ha ha hee hee.
Now I'm like, oh no, I jumped the gun. Now,
All right,
now
all right.
I'm like,
So 10 years later, bear in mind this is not Chairman Monroe's fault. But 40 BE, 10 years after New Hope was established, Dr. Sampson is relocated to a facility within Mount Kadar by a syndicate of COG oligarchs. And these guys are not, they're like a shadowy assemblage of Monroe's cabinet. So they work behind Monroe's back and they say, hey, we kind of like that weird stuff you did. Like, oh no. And if you've ever seen the Locust like Horde symbol, that's their secret society symbol. That's where it comes from. The little like, what would you call it? Like, it's not quite like a cross, but it's like a spiky, four-cornered like that sigil that like all the Locust use, and what they would eventually revere as like the societal emblem that they would adopt. It's from these guys, this shadowy oligarchical group. And they go, hey, we don't mind get our hands dirty. We're going to go behind Monroe's back. We still need that cure for rust lung. You're still our best option. We're going to ignore all the terrible things you've done.
You're our best option, provided we ignore all the, horrific child mutilation.
Yeah,
But
that is
then again,
crazy that he is their best option for curing rust lung.
I just love. So I just put,
Yikes.
I love torturing children. Yeah,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh boy.
yeah, and it gets worse. So Mira is still being used as a test subject, and so Dr. Sampson now starts to splice sire DNA and Mira's embryonic stem cells into the remaining children.
How does he think this is a good idea?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how
The
they're...
Scio were complete failures. Splicing this shit with Mira didn't work because it made the Scio that... Let's just jumble the two failures into one big fail box and surely it'll be okay.
Why not? Yeah. Dr. Sampson, like, you don't understand, bro. It's going to go to the moon. It's going to go to the moon. I promise. And
this
is
car
where...
is damaged and this car is damaged. Surely if we drive them into each other, it will produce a perfect, fully functioning car. No, sir. Like, please stop. Please stop doing this. The children don't deserve this.
Crazy.
Yeah. Just writing his notes in crayons, like, this guy's off the hook. But yeah, so this is where the very first Locust drones are born. And quite unfortunate. If ever you've seen the Berserkers, the big, like, hulking tank creatures that just run at you, and they deflect all bullets that you shoot at them, and they have to be shot with, like, orbital lasers to kill, that's Mummy Locust. That's, like, the one that gives birth to every other Locust. And they're blind, and they just kind of listen out for you when they charge at you. Like, this is what some of those girls turned into in the facility. Including the Matriarch, which is the first of all the Locust drones, which has like a psychic connection to Mira. And speaking of which, the oligarchs are like, yeah, cool, keep going, we don't mind. As the pendulum war's still going on, we still got bills to pay, we still need to get this emulsion, we still need that cure. Keep doing whatever crazy things you think will help. Because of course that's a good idea. And Mira's not having a good time of this. But she realizes with the drones, unlike the sires who are feral and crazy, she has this hold over them like a hive mind. There's a connection between the Locust where, the drones are connected to the Berserkers, and the Berserkers and the Matriarch are connected to Mira, and she can exert her control over them. Interesting.
Yeah.
And during her imprisonment within Mount Kadar, she becomes pregnant with Dr. Torres, who's one of the researchers there, and eventually she will give birth to a normal child who isn't a Locust, who also is able to control the Locust with her connection to them, called Raina, and she will be important in Gears 4 and 5, but that doesn't matter because you don't need to play those games. Sorry, I had to be honest. So Dr. Sampson is like, hey, Torres, what are you doing? You're trying to run away from me. You're going to try and take your daughter, Raina, with you. Tries to stop them from escaping. They manage to. He tells Mira that they killed them, even though he didn't. And Mira's had enough. So she controls the drones to slaughter everyone in the facility, including Dr. Sampson. And
yay, you
now
get what
she
you
has
deserve, Murray.
I was going to say, honestly, justified.
with her scaly boys and girls under her control, and she goes, "I can't really go back to the Coalition, can I? They'll have questions about these hulking abominations that are following me around. I know a good place we could go instead. We'll go into the Hollow. We'll live in the Hollow, free from the tyranny of the Coalition and these crazy scientists." And so they remain in the Hollow for the next 20 plus years. And they're an independent race of Sarah. They are now a hybrid of Hollow creatures and humans, and they're called the Locust. And so the Locust are a thing. And they continue breeding. They continue growing in power. It's now 22 BE. Marcus Phoenix is born. Yay, we love Marcus. Ooh, Dave Bautista. And Marcus is an interesting character. If you read his books, you realize that he was born into a very prestigious family. His father is Major Adam Phoenix, and Adam Phoenix is tied to everything that happens in the setting to some extent or another. Because when he retired from being an active service cog major, he began his life's work to try and create a deterrent to stop the Pendulum Wars. And Adam Phoenix is very clever. This guy developed everything from the Chainsaw Lancer to the Hammer of Dawn to all sorts of crazy things. Like, he's very smart. And Marcus growing up in the shadow of this guy is kind of important. Because, like, in one of the books, for example, it talks about when he talks to other people, he puts on his kind of gruff accent. He's like, I'm Marcus, or Dom, we gotta kill some locusts. And then in, like, his private self, he talks a bit more, I guess you could say, posh. He has, like, two ways of talking, because he doesn't want to be seen as better than other people, being the son of this, like, immensely successful scientist and officer. And so Marcus has to live under the shadow of this guy his entire life. And the same year that Major Adam Phoenix retires, Victor Hoffman, who is a lieutenant at this point, is defending Anvil Gate from the UIR. He's promoted to captain. This guy will be very important in the future. But he's like the Patton style character that's like the most caricature, hard-ass military general style character in every video game. He's that guy. He's like, "What do you mean we can't use 10,000 guns to kill all the locusts?" It's like, yeah, that's the guy.
Not a bad accent.
Thank you.
For that caricature military old guy. Not bad.
And it's worth saying that Marcus's mum is called Elaine Phoenix, and she's a biologist. During 9BE, she goes missing, venturing into the Hollow, just underneath Jacinto City, which is like a big city. She discovers the Locust Horde, doesn't get back to her son and her husband. She goes missing. Marcus is now alone because his dad's always working and his mum is missing. Big sad.
Yeah.
But Adam goes looking for her. He finds her body and he finds some notes. But he's really busy trying to stop the Pendulum War, so he doesn't really have time to go through the notes. And he keeps his wife's death from Marcus. He just thinks she's missing. But she's the first casualty of the human Locust War.
That's not a stand-up guy maneuver.
No.
If I'm honest. That's not great. That's...
Adam's an interesting character because he has so many fingers and so many proverbial pies. And yet he doesn't tell the Coalition about the Locust, even before they start to kick off, because he doesn't really know how to do it without causing more trouble. But we'll get into that later. We're almost at the AE marker. So we're at 7BE now. Unbeknownst to humanity, the Lambent War begins. And under the surface, the Locusts are fighting for their lives against the Emulsion. You say, hey, what do you mean the Emulsion? Isn't it inert fungus? Apparently not. It's really good at infecting Locusts and turning them into weird, like, glowy things. And if you play Gears of War 1, you'll see some Lambent wretches, and you just think, oh, it's some weird Locust. No, it's an entirely different species that's parasitically controlling those Locust hosts. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be totally fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it's literally out of sight, out of mind. It's underground. Who cares? What lives underground? Worms, I guess. I don't know. And then at 5 BE, 2 years later, Adam starts going through these notes, and he manages to find the Nexus, which is where the Locust stronghold is. And he meets with Mira, who is now Queen Mira. And Mira goes, okay, Adam, I need your help to stop the Lambent War. I don't want to have to kill all the humans, but we are growing in strength. We are fighting a war down here. And we need we need some way to stop the Lambent. And Adam's like, I'm already trying to stop the Pendulum War up above, and now you want me to stop another war? And she gives him an ultimatum and says, okay, if you don't stop the Lambent, we're going to invade the surface, and we're going to kill you, because we can only hold them off for so long. So they're being pushed from the underground. Humanity's being pushed on the surface. Eventually, there's going to be a breaking point, and the Locusts are going to have to take action. Don't worry about that. Not for now. We got 5 more years, boys.
Mira got quite the glow up, didn't she?
Yeah, god damn.
Yeah, and the kind of what does it remind me of? It reminds me of like those not Bionicle, but like those 90s fantasy sci-fi hybrid shows where they had all the weird like jutting out armor with crazy angles and stuff. I'm like, there's something about it that I can't quite place. But and yeah, she's like venerated as like the god of the Locust because of Samson's tinkering, she's not like aging properly. She's quite resilient to damage. There's some weird stuff going on with her biology, and she can control an entire species, which is the Locust. So yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But a year after, 4 BE, Marcus Phoenix enlists as a member of the COG army against his father's wishes because Adam doesn't want him to serve because he's like, it's a bad life. And he serves with his best friend from a poor family called Carlos Santiago. Best friend. When he was growing up, he grew up with Carlos and his younger brother, Dominic. And at the same time, Dominic, even though he's too young to serve in the military, him and his girlfriend, Maria Flores, they have a baby. They decide to get married. They have Benedicto Santiago. And then a year later, 3 BE, Dominic Santiago joins the COG as a commando. And not the regular army specialist. That's why when in the games he always has that like knife on his like chest armor. That's like a commando knife. It's like a whole thing in Gears 3. And that's because he was a commando. That's like a symbol of like, not a badge of office, but like a signifier of like what he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. And so 2 BE, 2 years before Emergence Day, the UIR are really close to ending the Pendulum War because they are developing a satellite weapon which could end the Coalition entirely. So Hoffman, Captain Hoffman from before, he goes, right, we need to like secure this stuff they've been researching, give it to Adam Phoenix, and he can maybe use it against them. So Hoffman goes, okay, we're going to assault Asfo Point, steal the device. Dom, you're with me in our little squad that's going to do a commando raid. Meanwhile, Carlos and Marcus and the regular army are going to make a massive distraction so we can sneak in. You can actually play this section in Gears of War 5, I think it is. Or 4.
But we don't
play
that game. We don't play that. We don't play those games.
That's the only good part of the game, in my opinion. I'm like, I love that, and then the rest I'm like, ugh. Swarm. I don't care about the Swarm.
All it needed to make it good was to be directly related, and like, well, I say directly related, like before the ones that were really good.
I'm just saying, we ain't getting the Gears 6, but we are getting a prequel game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Putting in the Mad World theme music as well. I was like, oh, I see what you're doing, guys. I see what you're doing.
That was such an iconic commercial back then.
Right in the nostalgia. Yeah. Like, dead center in the nostalgia.
I forgot all about the Mad World Gears commercials, too.
I loved, I think it was on the map Gridlock. If you played at like a certain, I think when it was nighttime, occasionally when the match begins, you'd have the little piano like rhythm. Oh, that's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. Gridlock is a great map. But yeah, so during this raid, though, Dom has had a second child, Sylvia. She's born prematurely. He now has 2 kids, and he's on the front lines. Oh, Dom, what's going on? But good on you, mate. Well done. And he's deployed with Hoffman for Operation Leveler. The raid is successful. Marcus and Carlos are distracting while under the command of Major Helena Stroud, which is a last name we'll get to a bit later. Major Helena Stroud. So, unfortunately, Helena is killed in the battle, as is Carlos, the older brother of the Santiagos, which devastates Marcus, which is a running theme in this series. So he loses his best friend. Dominic loses his older brother. And Anya Stroud, who will one day marry Marcus Phoenix, loses her mum, which is sad. 1 BE, last stretch of the pre-Locust War. Marcus, Dom, and Hoffman are decorated for gallantry, and they secure the schematics to build the Hammer of Dawn. Adam Phoenix perfects it. It's basically like an orbital laser that can destroy entire cities. So they go like, right, let's switch it on, see what happens. Yep, there goes that city. The UIR surrender because they're like, right, we can't stop that. They've got all the fuel. They've got the big gun in the sky. We are done. However, the state of Goraznia refuses to surrender and they keep fighting. But for about 6 weeks, only 6 weeks, there's peace. Yay, we can go back to cafes and stuff and have a good time. Lovely. Get me a macchiato. And then, unfortunately, even though Dom's family has relocated to the city of Ithera, 6 weeks later, Emergence Day happens. Mira wasn't joking when she said, bring me something to kill the Lambent or we're invading. They wait until the Cog has won the war, and then when they're completely unaware, they strike. In a single day, they kill a quarter of Sarah's population. In a day.
Oh, holy shit.
They are not messing. And at this point, the Coalition is like the only political party that can just be like, right, we're going to stave off annihilation. We're the only game in town. Every other political party folds and rallies around the Cog. They're incredibly unpopular. They often breach civil liberties. Desperate times, desperate measures, and all that. Marcus and Dom evacuate civilians from the city of Kalona, but Dom loses both of his parents and his kids in that same day.
God damn.
That sucks.
So, literally 6 weeks earlier, he lost his brother as well. Bear that in mind. Like, it's not a good time for Dom. And that's also a running theme for Gears of War.
in the space of like a month and a half, essentially, most of his family is just gone.
It's just him and Maria now.
Man,
That's
that is atrocious.
And Dom copes by fighting as many locusts as he can. Maria, she resorts to antidepressants. And for her own safety, Adam Phoenix says, move her to my estate. We need to keep an eye on her. At the same time, because bear in mind, this is all happening like in a day. There is a game called Thrashball. Would we hazard a guess as to what Thrashball is in our world?
Football.
Football! American football! Hey, give me the ball! I'm gonna do a touchdown. What do you mean? Give me the ball.
Pass interference, touchdown. Patrick Mahomes is over. I mean, what?
Although the ball isn't like, it is round. So it's like a football, but they do play it like American football. And they wear like the armor, as I would call it. And you can get a skin as Augustus Cole, the Cole Train, as he's known, who's a super successful Thrashball player. The day Emergence Day hit. Yeah, Choo Choo. It's the Cole Train, everyone's favorite character. And he goes, right, Emergence Day, I'm quitting football. I'm going to join the Cog because I've got to kill me some locust. And he is a beefcake, so he's going to kill a lot. A few weeks later, Lieutenant Damon Baird, the smart ass of the squad, and his Kilo squad launch an authorized light mass missile attack on Halvo Bay to deny the Locust a strategic foothold. They are prosecuted mid-battle by Colonel Loomis. This is from Gears Judgment, the spin-off game, if you don't know. And Kilo Squad are cleared of their crimes, but they also kind of have a win in terms of one of the Locust generals, Zamil Khan, is killed by Kilo Squad. So the Colonel's like, okay, I know you kind of went against orders, but you did kill like one of the biggest generals in the Locust army within the first month or so of the campaign. Cool, okay. But you're demoted. You're no longer a lieutenant. Okay, fine. You're a private. He will be a corporal eventually. So that's the first year of the Locust War. 1 AE, Chairman Thomas Daliel dies of cardiac arrest. So that's the guy in charge of the COG. He's replaced by Richard Prescott. Fun fact, he's Murdoch from the A-Team who voices him.
Oh,
wow. An interesting thing. And you can play as him in the multiplayer. And it's kind of weird having, you know, Murdoch, and also he was Barclay in Star Trek TNG, being like, I'm going to kill some locusts. You're like, okay, fair enough. Good man.
Okay. I love it when a plan comes together.
Exactly. Although completely different character. This guy is a snake. He's not a nice fella. He is the commensurate politician. There's like a bit in Gears Tactics where you're like, oh, I'm serving Prescott, and then he's like, where are you, by the way? And Gabe is like, here are my coordinates. And then like a minute later, Hammer of Dawn strike on the position he put there. It's like, yeah, he was betraying me. Not a nice man.
All right.
Not a nice man. Any means necessary kind of guy. And following the Season of Bloom for the Coalition's calendar, they ratified the Fortification Act, which enacts martial law planet-wide. I say planet-wide, basically the Jacinto Plateau. Because
just
the Jacinto Plateau is
unique in
that there's a big layer of concrete underneath.
Mga hal
so
din
the
video
locusts
just
can't burrow
goes
in.
for
It's the only place like that.
flopot
And so
na.
they fortify Jacinto. They make it like the stronghold of humanity. They abandon other cities that might have been bigger, but they're not as easily to defend. He announces to the populace of the entire world, by the way, guys, in 3 days, we're going to nuke everywhere outside of Jacinto to try and kill the locusts because we're that desperate. We're going to Hammer Dawn everything.
Oh, what? That's so they're just
3
scorched
days.
earth, literally scorched earth. Just everything but us. Yeah.
So they've already, in a year, they've already lost over like a quarter of the population. Bear in mind, like the first day, that was the first day. Who knows how many more of the population have died?
Sure.
They say you got 3 days to get to Jacinto. Schlep it, go. Combined with chemical weapon attacks, the Coalition kill 90% of the rest of the populace outside of Jacinto, killing millions.
Boy.
God damn. That is... What the hell? It's just so much death for one planet. Like, I feel like in some ways it's easy to get sort of desensitized to silly, like, population reduction numbers when, you know, you talk about Warhammer a lot because of the whole Exterminatus thing. But when
Just
it's
goes
when
five
it's
in,
one
just goes
planet
four, flop,
and
but
it's
that's
just the
superior.
one place, that's absolutely horrific. That 90%.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The COG were like, oh, did you kill a fourth of our population? Rookie numbers. Check this shit out. Also, so do they build Hammer of Dawns en masse now that they have the blueprint? Like, it's not just one?
There's like several
That's a lot
satellites.
of beams. Yeah, I was going to say, like,
it's like,
I was like, oh, the Hammer of Dawn, maybe that's like one, like, big satellite, but they've got a bunch of them orbiting, don't they?
Yeah, they've dotted them everywhere just to be safe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm looking at that picture, I'm like, that's not one beam. That's like, oh boy,
yeah,
that's
it's
like 12.
Each one fires 4 beams that then meet in the middle and make a big blast radius, just to be careful. Like, yeah, okay, a lot of explosions. So they scorch Earth like most of Serra, and the people who survive this are called stranded. And if they didn't like the Coalition before now, they loathe them now. They hate them. They're like, you're all a bunch of fascists. You killed all of my family with laser beams. I hate you. And fair play. That's like a bad thing. And the dichotomy for the Gears universe is like, okay, well, who else is going to fight the Locust? No one. So it's like, you're either going to be stranded or you're going to be COG. The UIR is still kind of the thing, but they've already been battered by the Pendulum Wars. And they don't have the resources that the Coalition had in the first place, and they've just been nuked. So, like, yay, fun times.
You got
for the
no
UIR.
chance.
No. And then, fortunately, the Coalition does get a win in Gears Tactics. Gabe and his team, they kill the Locust head scientist Ukon, who survived New Hope. They assassinate him. He was building some like, you know, the Brumark, the really big like dinosaur with Gatling guns. He's the guy responsible for that. Where they're like, hey, you know those hollow creatures? How about we just put like Gatling guns on one and put a pilot on his back and just be like, go on, mate. It's Barney, but angry. Like, great. Oh, thanks,
I don't
Ukon.
think you need a scientist to figure that one out, to put guns on a dinosaur and have it. Yeah, all right.
And he's like lambent infected, but he's like huffing some kind of gas in the game so that he doesn't become a lambent. So you use that against him. It's fun.
You know what? That's actually something that I was going to ask, because with the Locust, I'm assuming they have their own versions of like human technology, or at least they have, given there's a whole society, do they have like proper research labs and stuff? Do they develop their own forms of armor and weapons, or is that stuff scavenged?
They do, but bear in mind, this is the same species that when they want to make more Locust with the Berserkers, who are the blind monster things, they chain them up, and I'll stop there. Like, this is those guys. They're not by any means redeemable nice people. They are like, they're off the deep end. These are bad hombres. Like, they are not fun.
Yeah.
And they also killed a quarter of the population in like a surprise attack. Like, yeah, not fun, not good guys.
No.
And yeah, the same year as all this is going on, General Bardi Salomon, he relocates to a secret COG facility called Azura, which is on this island, which the Locust can't get to because, one, it's surrounded by water, two, they can't burrow to it. And this is also where Prescott starts making his base of operations, because he's like, oh, cool, we'll take the elite of society, we'll put them on this nice little resort with like an obscuring barrier away from all the paupers, and we'll just live here, and it's lovely. Nice, thanks, Chairman. This leaves Colonel Hoffman as the highest-ranking officer of the COG military, the guy who did the raid with Dominic, and so now he's in charge. Mr. Patton in space, or in Sarah. For AE, Maria Santiago goes missing. She leaves Dom behind, and he has now started his journey to try and find her again, which is not going to be quick. Poor Dom. Again, theme of the whole thing.
Yeah, not good to be a part of Dom's family. Sorry, Dom.
It's not going to get better. It's not going to get... You think it's bad? It's going to keep going, guys. I'm going to keep...
It's just not good to be Dom, unfortunately.
Yeah, everyone's having a bad time. 10 AE, the city of Athera falls to the Locust completely. Marcus Phoenix deserts his post to save his dad after receiving a distress call from him. And bear in mind, it's like one thing, yes, he's your dad, you want to save him because he's your dad, as much of a bad dad he might be. But also this is Adam Phoenix we're talking about, like the guy who made...
big deal. He made the Hammer of Dawn.
Yeah, and I like there's like an aside where there's another character called Ty Caliso, and during the early campaign, he just kills a Locust with a chainsaw, and they used to have these big bayonets on their guns, which are just like, they're not cutting it because the Locusts have such like dense skin, and so
literally
Ty
not cutting it.
Yeah, literally. And so Ty just chops one in half, and Marcus goes like, hey, Dad, Ty killed one with a chainsaw. Could you like put this on a gun? He's like, okay, son, I'll put it on a gun. And that's where you get the Lancer from, which is fun. And so he goes to save his dad. However, it doesn't go well. You actually also get like a nightmare scene to begin Gears 3 where you and Dom are like saving Adam at the Phoenix estate, and there's a monologue. It's really well done where they're like all these enemies and it's all cloudy, and there's the spirits of Anthony and Benjamin Carmine, who are two Gears that die under your command in Gears 1 and 2. So it's those two and Dom, and Dom's like young, but you're playing as older Marcus, and it's like a really fun dream sequence where you're fighting the Locust and it slows down, and he talks about how he's always trying to impress his father and look out for him, and it was always about him. And this dream sequence ends, which is what happens in real life, where a helicopter crashes into the estate and buries him under a pile of rubble, killing him.
Oh, yeah, as you do. Oh, wow, just that's it, huh? He just dies in the rubble.
At least that's what Marcus thinks. In truth, Prescott would manage to send his Onyx Guard, who are like the super elite coalition, like secret government bodyguards. They're like, what if all the rich kids got into this one company of like coalition soldiers, and they're kind of like a myth and no one really knows about them, and they treat other Gears like dirt because they're like, you're not me, you're not like do you know who my father is? Do you know who Daddy is? I'm an Onyx Guard, look at me. They rescue Adam, and they take him to Azura, as well as Neville Estrom, who's one of the doctors who helps Adam in their toil for the next few years. But because Marcus disobeyed orders, a bunch of Gears got killed on the position he was holding. He is sentenced to 40 years in a prison called The Slab. Ugh, not a good place. There is a book called The Slab detailing his trials during that time. It's bad. It's really bad.
Just the name is like, I don't know. It's so like foreboding. You don't want to hear you are going to the slab.
The slab.
Yeah. Yeah, there's literally a bit where in the first game you're in the slab and Dom's like, what happened to these people? And they're like, their legs are missing, they're chained to the ceiling and they're like skinless. And it's like, what happened here? The locusts haven't been here yet. And Marcus is like, you don't want to know what happened here. It's bad. The only reason he's not given the death penalty is because of who his dad was. So like, your dad was Adam Phoenix. 40 years, lenient. Okay, fun. However, 4 years into his term, the siege of the slab begins where the locusts start to invade. Every inmate other than Marcus is pardoned from the Jacinto Maximum Security Prison, that's its real name, to help defend Ephyra, one of their last remaining cities. Hoffman says, pardon everyone but Marcus. Leave him there. And so Dom's
Bad
like, that's
idea.
my friend.
That seems like a terrible idea.
He's the main character. You can't leave him behind.
Yeah.
Silly.
Blood armor. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh god, can you imagine a game where it just fully acknowledges that? Okay, look, we can't leave this guy out. He's literally on the cover.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like something they do in Saints Row. I bet one of the Saints Row games has done that.
Yeah.
Although wouldn't it be amazing though if you played a game and you play as the guy in the beginning, but then it's like Battlefield 1 where it's like, oh, and he's gone and he's gone and he's gone, and you kind of like ping pong between different like characters, and then it's like, no, this is actually who you play as. Like, well, who's the guy in the cover? It's like, oh, he's just like for the first 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah, but anyway, so everyone is pardoned apart from Marcus, but Dom is like, no, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to ignore you said that. So he launches a little mission to save Marcus and re-enlist him into the coalition. He manages it. Hoffman is not happy, but he's like, well, he's here now. Like the beginning of Gears 1, he's like, I expect nothing but 110% from you. And he's like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm like, oh, rocky start. That's the guy in charge of the entire army there.
A little bit contentious, but I like your spirit.
And they begin their first major counterattack against the Locust with very little left to lose. Hoffman enacts the light mass offensive, and basically what they're going to do is they're going to try and use a light mass bomb, which I briefly mentioned earlier that Baird and his squad used to kill the Locust at Halvo Bay. They're going to use this bomb, but just to give you an idea of the big Hammer of Dawn strike they did prior, it didn't kill all that many Locusts because they were on the surface. And what do these guys specialize in? Burrowing underground. So the Coalition's already killed most of their civilization, and it hasn't really slowed them down much. So they go, okay, Prescott, he did a whoopsie. So Hoffman's like, we need to like map out the tunnels, launch a bomb using that data, and nuke them from underground. So they have this thing called the Resonator. And they're like, we don't have Adam anymore, that sucks, but we got this thing called the Resonator. We'll try and get that from this squad that's passed away. And, you know, Delta, who is led by Min Young Kim, who is a lieutenant, he leads Marcus, Dom, and Carmine to the House of Sovereigns to try and get the Resonator. They get the Resonator. Min is killed in the first act by the current general of the Locust Army, Uzal Ram. And he's fun. He's a big 10-foot-tall Locust guy. He's in Killer Instinct. You can play him fight the Arbiter. It's good fun. Yeah, Ram is fun. There's also a DLC called the something of Ram, the Shadow of Ram, I think it is, and you get to play as Ram, and you have like you go between the Cog and the Locust, and you play him, and you just go up to the gears, and you just pick them up by the head and just decapitate like it's nothing.
Damn.
Oh, this is crazy.
Nice.
This guy doesn't mess around.
So he's new. Why did I think he was like why did I think he was in Gears 1?
He's the main boss of Gears 1.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was like, oh, this isn't like the first time he's showing up, is it? Because I was like, I vaguely remember being on like a train and fighting him as like the last boss.
I hate that boss
I remember, I hated it too. I remember being absolutely just so annoyed by it. And that's like one of the few things I remember about Gears is just this son of a bitch.
He is a big boy shy. The thing is that his boss fight's annoying because it's like, there's only like, if you do it solo insane, there's only really one way to do it properly, and if you mess it up slightly, then you have to do it again. Really bad like I will say the boss fights in Gears aren't particularly great, but yeah, this guy is merciless. It's all like he just walks up to Min while his back is turned, picks him up and just guts him, and then like bear in mind that Delta is now consisting of, you know, Carmine has got shot in the head, Min is killed by Ram, Baird and Cole join forces with Dom and Marcus, but like 2 of them are privates, 2 of them are corporals. Who's in command? They barricade themselves inside the House of Sovereigns, and then Hoffman's like, Marcus, you're sergeant. And Damon's really annoyed about it. He's like, what? I just met this guy and he's sergeant all of a sudden. He's like, you don't understand. He's built different. Fine, you could be sergeant. You can lead Delta's team. And they basically venture to the Lefia emulsion facility to deploy the sonic resonator, because if they go to the facility, which is where they find the Lambent Wretches, they go underground using its like mining tunnels. They drop off the resonator, it makes a big boom, and then it maps out the hollow. That's the theory, right? And they barter and fight and steal their way to get there. They do some deals with the Stranded to get a car or like an APC sort of thing, which ends up with all the Stranded dying pretty much, but oh well. Yeah, that always happens to the Stranded. But they deploy this thing and they do all this work. And then they get a message from Hoffman saying, Delta, it didn't work. We'd need 100 resonators to do this properly. It's not happening. We need to think of something new. But because Damon's a bit of a whiz kid, he finds this like thing underground. And he's like, I found this. It's got loads of mapping data about the tunnels. Everyone's like, what? That seems convenient. What's that about?
That's oddly convenient considering your resonator bomb didn't work and you need a bunch of them and it isn't working. It's like, oh, but guys, mapping data. Why didn't you mention that sooner, brother? Like what?
Well, they find it. They find it in the hollows. It's like, why is this here? This is like COG technology. And they go, where is this coming from? It's like, oh, it's coming from his father's house. Whose father's? From Sergeant Phoenix's house. Adam has been mapping the tunnels. And there's a lot more data at his estate. So Delta goes back to his home basically, and they find, in typical style, behind like in the wine cellar, behind a bookcase, there's a computer, and there's the entire hollow mapped out. And I think it's inferred that like when he was dealing with Mira on the sly, he was doing this just as like a deterrent. And bear in mind that he's on Azura under lock and key by Prescott. So there is that too. But Marcus and the gang, the COG, don't know this. Only Chairman Prescott and his elite know about this. So they get the data and they go, cool, we can blow up the Locust with the light mass bomb. Ram has overtaken the train carrying the bomb. Oh, for God. Okay. So they go to the train. They jump on. Baird and Cole are too slow. So it's just Dom and Marcus going from the back of the train all the way to the front, and they confront Ram. Ram rips a Troika, which is like a big Locust turret, and he just carries it like an assault rifle and commits war crimes against gameplay by just slowly walking towards you with an invulnerable shield while shooting you, so you can only like use the sniper rifle and the torque bow to hurt him. It's really annoying. But either way, hate that guy.
Yep, fuck him.
Yeah, but Marcus wins. Yay, they kill Ram. They activate the light mass bomb with the reading data they have. Typically, the bridge where the train tracks are going has a gap, which like is going to plummet into a big pool of emulsion. And then, in typical hero style, Marcus jumps and grabs Dom's hand in the helicopter with Hoffman. They escape, and Hoffman, while he's hanging out the side of the thing, he gives him his hand. He forgives Marcus, brings him on board. The bomb goes down. It's kind of like a torpedo. It goes through the emulsion. It blows up the hollow. Yay, we killed the Locust, guys. Woo! They didn't.
Yeah,
totally. They killed the Locust in the outer hollow, because there's the inner hollow and there's the outer hollow. And
Yay.
Not good times. Although one good thing was there's these little bat-like creatures called Krill. One thing I liked about the first game, it was very horror vibes. And there's a section, if you might remember, where you have to do this segment where you have to stay in the light, because if you're not in the light, these swarms of bat things just mulch you to death. And it's all horror-y, and you have to light propane tanks, and it's all, these guys suck. The light mass bomb, as a result, kills all the Krill, which is a good thing, because now people can go out. Yeah, when it's nighttime, people can go out now and not fear the darkness, which is good. And although they haven't killed the Locust, that's an advantage, because now they open up a whole range of possibilities to continue fighting them. Now that General Ram is dead, the leader of the Cantus, which is like a priest order of Locust, Ketor Scourge, is now in charge of the Locust army. And the coalition straight away start to go, right, what else can we do to really add some extra, like, put some more dirt in their eye? Let's go. And they managed to pull back to Jacinto, which is the last stable city of the Cog. They amass the entire army, more or less, and they say, right, we're going to enact a counterattack into the Hollow. We've already nuked them. While they're reeling from that, we're going to send everyone down there. We're going to get drilling platforms. We're going to burrow in. We're going to hit them where it hurts. And during the interim, there are some battles in the comics. I really like one which is in a stranded camp called Fucked. And and there's a great comic.
If you're stranded, that is what you are. Yeah.
Well, the comic is the battle for fucked, and I love that battle because it's such a fun, bleak tone for the series. I love it. And yeah, so basically the Locust, bear in mind, is still fighting the Lambent, and now they've been somewhat attacked to a large extent on the other side. So now they're pinned between the Lambent and the Cog. They're not going to sit on their heels either. They're going to we're gonna push them back as much as we can. And so the siege of Jacinto begins, where even though they can't burrow conventionally, the Cog realize that there's a lot of cities around Jacinto just kind of sinking into like the abyss. What's going on here? Turns out, using the light mass bomb woke up the Riftworm, which the Locust, they like see it as a god. And now they are coordinating it to dig underground new tunnels, which will just encircle the cities that are remaining and just drop them down, crush them. So even when they make a step forward, the Cog also take 2 steps back. So now that's another problem they have to deal with. There's a 2-day counterattack called the Operation Hollow Storm, where the entire Cog army just go for it. It's like, we have no other options. We're gathering the whole band. We're going to just go kick them in the nuts right where they live. And we're going to go, the outer hollow is clear. Let's go into the inner hollow. Let's find the nexus where their HQ is. And they, like Shai says, they do a Helldiver thing, but it's underground rather than from orbit.
It's cool. That's like such cool art too.
That really is.
Golly.
I love the trailer where it's like them getting in the pods and like for a few moments they're like outside sitting under trees and enjoying themselves with the calm, and then it's Dom and Marcus in these capsules burrowing underground. They open the hatch and the blood omen, the Gears sigil is there. It's like, oh, the Crimson Omen. Yeah, it's like, oh, good trailers.
Hell
love
yeah.
them.
Hell yeah.
But when Delta, because of course it's Delta, when Delta are in the tunnels, they are confronted by the Riftworm. It swallows them up. Probably because the Locusts were like, hey, those guys are a problem. Just like, eat them up, please.
And of course, they don't digest you or chew you. They just swallow you whole. And now you fight your way out of the Riftworm, right?
Well, unfortunately, Anthony Carmine was in the first game. He's the guy who gets shot in the head. His younger brother, Benjamin, is with you in this mission. He gets swallowed and a bit digested. And he's like barely a recruit.
A bit digested?
Well, like the lower half of his body is. The top half he's still able to speak, and he's like, Sarge, it hurts. And you're like, yeah, sorry, kid. It's like, tell my brothers I love him. You're like, oh, Benjamin.
They're dead too.
He's dead.
It's bad to be a Carmine.
Also, Scourge attacks them when they're burrowing in, and Dizzy Wallen, who I used to play in the multiplayer, he's like a stranded guy who rejoined the Cog because he's like, what other options have I got? He's got a cowboy hat. He's funny. And Ty Kaliso, who I mentioned, cut a guy in half with a chainsaw. They fend off Scourge while Marcus and Dom are plunging in, but Ty gets captured. And they find him as well, and he's got like all these gouges in his back. He's been tortured, and this guy's like Maori-inspired, 7 foot tall, huge dude. Like, this is like the guy that everyone's like, that guy will mess up a Locust. And they find him, and they don't realize what he's been through. And Marcus chucks him a shotgun, and he just points it straight at his face. And then there goes Ty Kaliso. Really sad.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's not fun. But they do manage to with the rest of Delta, they carve their way out of the Riftworm in particularly bloody style, spilling out. My favorite line from the series is still when they find the Riftworm and Marcus is like, Control, it's a worm. It's a giant fucking worm. And you're like, oh, yeah, it is a worm, Marcus. It's a massive worm. Poor fellas. And yeah, like there's a bit where they all like fall out completely covered in viscera. Because again, Gears of War, you got to have some blood somewhere.
Yeah.
And although they've killed the Riftworm and bought themselves some time, Operation Hollow Storm is still only in its first of 2 days. So Control says, okay, we have been given some declassified intelligence by Prescott about the potential location of where we might find information about where their stronghold is, the Nexus. It's in a little place called Mount Kadar. Uh-oh. And this is where they find, I believe it's the AI version of Samson. They find the sires, they cut their way through them, they find out some information about where the locusts come from. They get the location of the Hollow Nexus. They then launch the second wave of the operation, and they manage to get all the way to the border of the Nexus. And it's just Marcus and Dom at this point. And on the way, they start to find computers and data about interesting things about what the locusts are doing. And one thing Dom is really keen to find out is, where is my wife? Where's my wife? So they find her. And it's one of the most gut punch cinematics in a game I've ever played, where you see the pod, and Dom's all like, we finally found her, Marcus, we found her. And the door opens, and it's her, and she's just as he remembers her, and she's smiling. She walks towards him, and he hugs her and says, I love you. And then the camera pans to Marcus, and Marcus just goes, bum. And then it pans back to her, and her hair is cut short. There's scratches all over her skin. She's emaciated. Her eyes are like vacant. And then Dom realizes, oh no, what have they done to you? And he panics, and he doesn't know what to do. He keeps going like, Marcus, I don't know what to do. I don't know what. And then Marcus goes, Dom, it's okay. And he's like, I'm so sorry, Maria. I'm so sorry. Puts the gun next to her head and says, I love you so much. And then as Marcus is walking away, he hears a gunshot in the background. And there's at least the ending of Maria's suffering. Again, Dom goes through it in this series. That's the last person he loves other than Marcus. Like, that's the last part of his family gone.
God, he's having the absolute worst time of... I'm trying to think of, there's a lot of fictional characters out there who've had bad lives. He's got to be up there. He's got to be up there with, the worst treated in terms of just loss and death and awful.
Shia's just said, look at the family list, and it's Eduardo Santiago, little cross. Ava Santiago, little cross. Carlos Santiago, all of them have a cross next to them because it's son, wife, father-in-law, mother-in-law, daughter, mother, father, brother, gone. It's like,
paternal aunt even. You can't admit the paternal aunt in his damn family and get away.
No, it's just, it's a bad time. And poor Dom, but to his credit, he goes back to Marcus and he's like, you did what you had to do. I found a way to sneak into Nexus, which in a DLC, you can either sneak in or go guns blazing, but in the original, it was just guns blazing. And he's like, if we dress as these Pharaon guards, we could just sneak in. And Dom's just like, I want to kill them all. And you just go, right. He just drops the helmet. He's like, yeah, let's go kill them all. And so you fight your way into Nexus. You reunite with Baird and Cole. You find records of Adam Phoenix in the Nexus computers. And you're like, that's strange. And you're like, why is Adam Phoenix in the compute? That's really weird. Because it always comes back to Adam Phoenix. And he says in the computers, I theorize that if you destroyed Jacinto, you could flood the Hollow and drown the Locust. If you did that, you'd lose Jacinto, the last bastion of humanity, but the Horde would be gone. And so Delta goes, oh, that's not a bad idea. So they relay it to Control, and Control's like, that's a bit of a big risk, but oh well. See if you can go into the throne room and kill Mira. That would do us all a favor.
වැඩි කියන්නේ game එකෙන් matchmaking වලින් nerf කරනවා එකද දෙකට දින්නොත් එහෙම. එතකොට අර ඔයාට හම්බෙන මේ
Mira's all like, the son of Adam Phoenix. He spoke highly of you. He's like, what are you talking about? And they have a little duel. Thank you. And yeah, they have a little conversation. Scourge attacks. You have a melee duel with him. It's good fun. Well, it's not. It's kind of bad. It's fun in theory, but in practice, it's rapid tap the B button. Oh, this is tedious. And yeah, basically they realize, oh, the Locusts are being attacked by another force down here.
ඒකේ ඔයාට හම්බෙන drops තියෙන්නේ වෙන්නේ ඔයා දිනනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ එක දිගට දිනලා තිබ්බොත් එහෙම ඔයාට හම්බෙන drops nerf වෙන auto.
That's interesting. Oh well, we can't think about that
ඊට පස්සේ ආයෙ එක දිගට චුට්ටක් අත දුරාම drops ටික ආපහු optimize වෙනවා.
Marcus, because she also wants to flood Jacinto, but when her people are out, so they can just drown the Lambent and maybe the Cog as well. So it's a race against time of who's going to do it first. Of course, Delta escape. They kill Scourge in like an aerial battle, which is kind of fun. They destroy Jacinto. They flood the Nexus, the inner hollow, the outer hollow, all of it. Locust threat completely drowned by seawater. But it has now stranded the Cog on naval vessels and small pocket islands. The remainder of Delta and some of the other Cog, they go onto a island called Vectus. And Azura is still a thing, bear in mind. Adam is still running experiments there. And the closing line of Gears of War 2 is hearing Adam Phoenix trying to send a message out like, You flooded Jacinto. What have you done? It's like, oh no. What do you mean, what have I done?
Oh no.
Have we got a classic and it turns out they messed it up again?
මං දැන් matches 10 එක දිගට දින්න දැන් ඊළඟ ඒකේ දැන් මම මේක හතරක් විතර ගැහුවානේ ඊයේ යදයි.
And
පොඩේ එක දිගට දිනද්දී හම්බෙන drops auto optimize වෙනවා. ඔයාට හොඳ
thousands of locusts
හම්බෙන්නේ නැති
at once.
වෙනවා.
It's awesome. Hell yeah. But now
What's
Gears...
the population like at this point, just out of interest? Because I'm assuming there's the army, and then there's no one else. There's no civilians. Everyone's dead.
There are like administrators and civilians, but one of the reasons that the Cog, the army soldiers, are so big is because they get 4 times the rations. So it's like, yeah, I want more food, please. There's a lot of like stranded still, and also bear in mind the Cog has now added woes to the stranded because now they're like, first you destroy our cities with the Hammer of Dawn, and thanks for killing all the Krill, but now you've also got like, you've flooded everywhere with Jacinto. There's now nowhere left to like, where are the refugees going to go? A boat? Yeah. Am I going to get a dinghy and go out into the ocean? What am I going to do? You know, I've got kids. It's like, oh, poor stranded. They're not having a great time. But now with the Locust War practically over, now begins the Lambent Pandemic.
Oh, great!
Yeah. So, bear in mind, Adam has been running experiments to try and stop the Lambent because he knows they're a problem. He knows about them. He's known about them for years. And bear in mind, the Locusts were running away from these guys. They weren't attacking humanity necessarily out of malice. They were just like, if we can kick them off the surface, we can fortify the surface and kind of contain them. We could deal with them. And Mira thought maybe we could drown them. Turns out, flooding the hollow with water actually helped the Lambent spread because the seawater just allowed the parasite to move more freely across the world. Amazing. Shortly after this, Chairman Prescott abandons the Cog. It's basically, for all intents and purposes, disbanded. Coalition of Ordered Governments no longer has a chairman. No longer an organization. Badum-tish. No more gears in the mechanism. But Adam is still working with Prescott to find a way to stop the Lambent. And Prescott is like, what do you need? And he's like, I need live samples. I can't do anything with just like data. And so, as a last resort, he starts injecting himself with emulsion because he figures, if I work on myself, what better test subject to try and, like, find a way to stop this without incurring necessary innocent lives? Because he's already got so much blood on his hands. He's responsible for, like, not just the Locust invasion, but also the Hammer of Dawn strikes. Like, everything goes back to Adam. This man is the savant of war crimes. Even if it wasn't by his own hand, he was still the one who advised, we should probably use the Hammer of Dawn on everyone just to give us a fighting chance. Like, yeah, not great.
Yeah.
And so, the beginning of 15 AE, the Lambent set upon Vectus Island, forcing Delta to flee aboard, like, these naval warships. Hoffman takes his chances fortifying Anvil Gate because it's this ancient stronghold. It was built way before even the Pendulum Wars. He's like, I can make it work. And you're like, okay, Hoffman, off you go. And then
බලන්නකෝ අරෝට හම්බෙලා
for a
තියෙන මේ
while,
මුට පර්පල් එකක්
Dom
තියෙනවා
has
ඌ level
tattooed,
ඒ කියන්නේ
he's always
පළවෙනි
had a
fight
tattoo
එක.
of his wife
Thank you.
Maria, but now he has added angel wings onto the design because she's gone now, and he's grown the depression beard, and it's a big beard.
Yeah.
And he's growing turnips. So he's doing
පළවෙනි
what he can to help.
round 1 එකේ උට purple එකක් තියෙන විදියක් නැහැ.
He's literally growing turnips
Alright.
in the like
Not a
hold of this
euphemism,
shit.
it turns out.
Because it's like when you live on a boat, where are you going to get the food from? I guess some of us have got to get some farming done between battles. And one day, all of a sudden, Marcus is told by Anya, who, you know, I think they've been fighting a few years now together, so there's some parfait l'amour going on between them, but like with more blood and viscera involved. But you know, like and more chain blades and stuff like that, and curb stomps. But the cog also at this point goes like, we need to get the girls involved. We don't have enough bodies fighting the locusts. Give them armor, give them guns. Go on, let's do it. Yeah, woo, girl power, nice. So now Anya is now like a frontline gear. There's also characters like Samantha Byrne brought in, so she's fun. She's like got I think it's a Kiwi accent, and she's like a really good foil for Baird, where it's like they hate each other, but they kind of love each other. And there's a great bit where they're like, there's a mission with them where like Baird is falling down, they're all falling down, and she grabs his hand and is like, I suppose you wanted me to say that I've always loved you, but I don't. I really don't. And then, of course, eventually they get married. Because, of course, they do.
Of course they do. Of course. The signs were all there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, they get a message from Chairman Prescott. It's like, wait, that guy who abandoned us, also he's got a King Raven, one of their helicopters. Where did he get that from? Everything's broken. And then he just lands on the ship with a bunch of Onyx Guard. And it's like, Marcus Phoenix, here is a disc. You want to see what's on it. And this disc has some stuff stored away that they can't decipher, but on it is a message from Adam Phoenix. And it's like, what? Turns out your dad's been alive for the last few years, Marcus. Sorry about that. You need to get to Anvil Gate, because if you can go to there, they have some decrypting technology that can help you identify what else is on this disc. Because I can only see the message from Adam, but he's like, I can stop the war, I can stop the Lambent. So then Prescott's like, I'm off, see you later. There's a lot of bits in between this where the elements of the Stranded and the UIR even come to the Cog's aid, or what's left of the disbanded Cogs. Like, if we don't fight together, we're all going to die. Why not? So they rally to save humanity. They manage to do like a kind of a journey to Anvil Gate, which is on land, bear in mind. So it's a bit of a journey. But, resources are slimming down. Everyone, and also, like, the Lambent are now able to attack them at the sea. There's literally the beginning act. It's like, oh, look at all the Lambent pouring into the ship. I guess nowhere is safe anymore. Fine. Ships aren't working anymore. We've just got to go back on land and try and, like, fortify what we can. Mm-hmm. And so they help Hoffman defend Anvil Gate, which is ironic because for Hoffman, it's the second time he's done this now. And they basically decode the disc, and it's like, okay, it's also Prescott dies. Good riddance.
Yeah, fuck him.
Hated that guy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the disc gives the location of Azura, and they were like, wait, the rich and powerful just had this like luxury island protected from the war for the last decade plus, and no one told us. And this asshole was just going back and forth with his little coterie of like Onyx. Oh, the Cog are the worst.
The worst.
Yeah. And so 17 AE, they launched the Mission to Mercy. And Mercy is a little outpost. Marcus goes with Dom, because of course he does. Anya, Samantha, Dizzy Wallin, who I love, and Jay Stratton, who is a new character in this game, but he's also in the comics. And their objective is, right, if we're going to get all the way to Azura,